Wouldn't be one of our episodes if we didn't recommend or reference Star Trek.
It sure is correct, and that's also the first sentence of the episode.
Well, spoilers.
So, Zach, this is a relaxed video.
This is a very relaxed video. We have been recording like all day.
Yep. It's been a stressful couple, I don't know about you, but it's been a stressful couple of weeks, and it is currently October 27th, and I'm feeling a little
As you know, we're very, very busy because our job is producing months, and November's a doozy. November won't happen unless we make it happen.
Absolutely. November is such a diva. Refuses to come out of their trailer unless there are cornucopias on every table. And like since December has been invading November, they've been even surlier than usual. Is that joke? Is this...
Yes.
Zach, we're doing horror movie stuff.
Yes.
And
we are.
And we're also drinking non-alcoholic juice beverages while we do it.
Yes.
Yeah. Zach, I have in front of me a bottle of Besote del Diablo cinnamon-flavored juice beverage. Which I believe you gifted to me.
Was that? Oh yeah, I did gift that to you.
Yeah, I believe that the first half of this bottle got drank during the Great Gatsby video,
and now we finish off the second.
Yeah. So Zach, what are the rules today?
The rules are, if you predict, I feel like we should tease a little bit what we're gonna say. See if somebody can guess what's coming next. If you can successfully guess something that's on the list, who has to take a shot? Somebody should.
If I guess what's on your list, you take a shot for sure.
Yes. If you've seen the movie or thing that is on the list, you also take a shot.
Yep.
And it's a solid pour if we both have the same thing on our list.
Oh yeah.
You have to say this is also on my list, and then down some.
No. We keep it a surprise. So like if what's one? If it's the Great Pumpkin Charlie Brown is 9 on yours, but 5 on mine, I'm definitely waiting until 5.
You have to take a shot when it comes up. Yes.
Yeah.
I agree. I have a concoction in front of me of a alcoholic, like cheapest I could find, like Arnold Palmer equivalent, but in a massive plastic bottle.
Nice.
I have some Citron vodka, and I have
Citron what?
Yes.
Citron,
and I have
Citron what, Zach? Citron juice beverage.
Sorry.
You have a Citron lemonade, Zach. Come on. You know we can't reference alcohol in this Bad Dragon sponsored podcast.
We can't on this Bad Dragon sponsored podcast. We cannot acknowledge the existence of alcohol.
We don't want to get the membership drunk.
Yeah.
Pardon me while I rip this bong.
Excuse me while I rip this bong.
Excuse me while I rip this bong. Yeah, we haven't even started drinking yet.
We just like this all the time.
Yeah,
I want to express upon people who think, man, this must be what it's like to hang out with Zach and Tom. That's correct.
Yeah, yeah.
Like there's probably a thought in the back of the head. No, they're probably like playing it up. No, this is incorrect. We're like this constantly.
Yeah. Oh my God. Okay. All right, Zach. I have a list of 10. I understand you also have a list of 10.
Yeah, I have a list of 10 with honorable mentions and an extra special treat as well.
Yeah. And like I say, mine are in no, except for the top 3, mine are in no particular order. So I say when we get to we'll pause before the top 3 and then do the honorable mentions. If that seems if you're amenable to that.
Sorry, repeat that.
I said this is unhinged. We'll pause before the top 3 and then we'll do the honorable mentions.
That's a good idea.
All right. By the way, I was a groomsperson at a wedding in December. And the only shot glass I could find was my groomsman gift. So it has a little picture that says Tom's groomsman. It has a little picture of a tusk, not a tusk, a tux. Those words.
I think the only one I have is one that my friend Nastasia got me when she went to Puerto Rico. But I'm literally just taking shots of this alcohol, juice, and mixing it in with iced tea and lemonade in front of me. You might be able to hear it. And that is going to be just some shot-sized sips because it's in an extra large Wawa cup, which means very little to people who've never been to Philly, but it means a lot if you have.
Yeah, imagine how people feel about us talking about the Buffalo Bills.
Yes.
I bring up exactly the shot glass that I'm using because this is like a 2.5 shot glass. Delicious.
It's a hefty one.
Oh my god, I'm so excited. All right, I have a shot. I also have a blue raspberry juice beverage in front of me. And I'm ready to go. Are you ready to go?
Yeah, I'm ready to go.
Let's do it. So it's Halloween season. If you are watching this, maybe you might find a movie that you've never watched before. Mine are not in like a particular, like a strong order of quality. These are just movies.
Same here, but the list felt right to me.
And like if I could move these, except for the top 3, I could really move these around in basically any order on this list. These are just movies that I, around this time of year, might love to watch. I'm a big fan of horror movies. I love being scared. I love suspense. And these are movies that I think that fill that sort of feeling for me. Zach, would you like first pick or second two?
Oh, we're going like a snake?
Yeah, let's go like a snake. That sounds fun and stupid.
Sure. Let me see what my 10 is before I make that call. You know what? You take first pick.
All right. My first pick is
Can I before we do that, can I do my one thing that's not honorable mentions?
Yeah. Should I be putting those? I'm not going to put those anywhere. I'm going to really strongly consider editing this. And if I do, I'll edit in a picture when you bring it up.
Okay, I have a long tradition of hosting bad movie marathons. Tom, I think you've been there for some of them.
I have. I remember you introducing me to Smiling Cat?
A Talking Cat.
Talking Cat, thank you.
Love that movie. There is a day that's by David Dakota, who made the bad movie marathon list this year. I am going to recommend these 3 movies for a bad movie marathon. They're bad for various different reasons, and only one of them was on Red Letter Media, so they're not all just best of the worst picks. The one that was on Red Letter Media is The Last Vampire on Earth. Classic, horribly cheaply made film. Wolves of Wall Street. I should note The Last Vampire on Earth is like somebody made Twilight with no budget and nobody who knows how to act. Wolves of Wall Street, which is not The Wolf of Wall Street.
It's like they made Twilight with no budget.
Yes, correct. Wolves of Wall Street, which came out a decade before the movie The Wolf of Wall Street.
What?
And is a decade before The Wolf of Wall Street. There is the David Dakota film, and David Dakota is known for putting attractive shirtless men in his movies constantly, and this one's no exception. Wolves of Wall Street, which is a cheaply made film. You could argue nothing happens in it, but man, is it an exciting nothing happening, where somebody joins a stockbroker firm on Wall Street and finds out that everybody there is also a werewolf, which is amazing. And I don't think we're 5 minutes into the video, but
hold on, I'll check. We are 9 minutes into the video. You fucking go off.
I'm gonna go off. The wonderful, made in a city near and dear to us that we have referenced many times, film Killer Wreck, which is about a woman who receives sentient man-eating implants from a Dr. Kate Thulu.
I'm sorry, a doctor what?
Her name is Kate Thulu.
You said Kate Thulu.
Kate, and her last name is Thulu.
Ah, I understand.
Dr. Kate Thulu, yeah.
Dr. Kate Thulu.
Yes. If that sounds schlocky and dumb, it's because it is, and I highly recommend it.
And her brother, John Sothoth.
So that's my recommended bad movie marathon for people this year. If you want to do a bad movie marathon with your friends on Halloween, they're going to think you're weird for knowing these 3 films and recommending them, because they all have some weird shit in it. But man, oh man, will you have fun? These are 3 that have been standouts from previous bad movie nights for me. So,
Zach, we should do a bad movie video someday, because I am also a fan of bad movies. I'm just gonna throw out a pair of recommendations here. I overwhelmingly recommend to everyone in the world, Eagles Are Turning People into Horses. It is free and available on YouTube. It is some brilliant young director's student project. Go watch it, and if you enjoy that, then go watch Velocipaster, because it is exactly the same movie but feature length. Zach, we should do a video on Eagles Are Turning People into Horses.
we should. If we're just recommending bad movies in general, I adore The Room, as most people do, and my pick that I tell everybody to check out is The Return of Captain Invincible, which is just phenomenal.
God. I checked in when you were watching. I walked into that movie halfway through.
Yes, I don't think you ever saw the first half, which is fine, because you got to the best part, which is the Christopher Lee musical number.
Yeah!
And if that doesn't sell you on this film, nothing will.
Yeah! Oh my god. We'll save that. Comment below if you think a bad movie video would be fun. But I don't care whether you comment. We are doing a dissertation on Eagles Are Turning People into Horses. Zach, I'm going first. Is that correct?
You're going first, and then we're going like a snake draft.
All right. My first one is going to be a little controversial for a couple of reasons. Number one, because it is not the best loved by this director. And number two, because it's not really all that scary.
Can I take a guess as to what it is?
Sure.
Is it In the Mouth of Madness?
It is not. It is not.
Oh.
That's a good guess, though.
Those 2 qualifiers are correct for that movie as well.
No, it is Us.
Us?
Yes.
Ooh.
Oh yeah.
I've not seen Us, actually.
Oh my god, Us is wild. It follows a family of 4 on on their family vacation, and
don't they make like an alternate reality version of themselves?
Yes, their underground replacements come and try to replace them, and this is happening simultaneously across the entire neighborhood. Zach, an interesting question. Are we doing spoilers this stream?
I guess so.
Yeah,
it's hard to I don't if you can spare, give the general consensus on what you like about it, or the general plot line and what you like about it. If you can avoid spoiling the whole thing, I would try to. But if you need to spoil the whole thing to explain why I love it, then do it.
Yeah. And I will none of these movies wouldn't be on the list if spoiling what happens ruins the viewing experience. That's not why you watch these movies.
Yeah, we're not going to do some what a twist things here.
Yeah.
And if there is, make sure you don't get the whole reveal there.
Us is spectacular. It is incredible. I think it is beautifully acted. There is a scene. This is not a joke, Zach. There is a scene where a family of 4 is brutally murdered to the tune of "Fuck the Police." Uh, it's phenomenal. It's phenomenal, and it's really, really funny. Uh, the line to, especially of the dad, who the name of whose actor I do not know. The acting of the dad is like, he has this like amazing like dad who knows how not funny he is energy. It's incredible, and I cannot talk it up enough. And if I recall correctly, all of the actors in the movie also play their like shadow versions. They also play their mirror versions. So there is this exceptional range of acting displayed on the parts of all of these people. And all of these people are creepy and terrifying. It's fantastic. And I'm going to, if you watch it, go into it thinking about Alice in Wonderland. Think about Alice in Wonderland. And you will have a wonderful time seeing all of the like falling down the rabbit hole and through the looking glass symbolism. It's really good and really cool and really fun. And in my opinion, you ready for a hot take? My opinion,
Yes.
Jordan Peele's best movie.
Wow, that is a hot take. I don't know. I'm sure there are some people who would agree, but
yeah, I mean it's really good. Also, Nope is really good, but like I don't know if like in terms of like importance in the genre, I don't know if you can challenge Get Out, but fucking like, dude, Us is so good. Strongly recommended.
all right.
Oh
So
hey,
Snakes.
a video of ours just went live.
Oh wow, yeah. I guess one didn't.
Hey, look at that.
It is 6 p.m. It is 600, which is also our number of subscribers as of this recording. All right, I guess I am going up with the next two in our snake draft here, which means that I am going to have to tell you that my number 10 is Gremlins 2.
Oh my god, that's such a good take.
I adore Gremlins 2 more than the first one.
Oh my
so Gremlins
god,
was like a staple of me and my brother growing up, and I like at first I liked it, and then I got scared of it as I like got more aware of what was happening in the film.
Oh wait, Zach, I have seen Gremlins 2. I'm taking a drink.
Good, excellent.
Oh, please go off on I'm sorry, go off on Gremlins.
It's all right. So Gremlins 2 is legitimately hilarious, has wonderful horror things going on that it plays for laughs the whole time. And it has, it may not be like straight up a horror film, like the first one blends horror and comedy very well. This one leans heavily on the comedy, but it does have somebody dressed up as a vampire the whole time. It has that really messed up gremlin that turns into a gargoyle, and it just does everything it can to be entertaining at all times. There's the gremlin who gets acid thrown on his face and puts the like Phantom of the Opera mask on.
Oh my god!
And the characters are just like going wild with the nonsense that's happening.
Is this the movie? In the first one, I remember that one of the leads is like, my dad died on Christmas trying to crawl through the chimney.
And they play it for like tragedy, yeah. And that's why I don't like Christmas.
And in this one, she goes, Lincoln's birthday. Something terrible happened to me on Lincoln's birthday.
And the main character is just completely like, oh, fucking this again.
Yeah.
Gremlins 2 is just a like a joke of a sequel itself. It is okay. You know, the first Gremlins happened. It was a good film. If we're gonna make another one, instead of just doing Gremlins again, what if we just made fun of the concept of Gremlins? And man, oh man, they get every joke out of there. They have anything you could want out of that. They have the Gremlins singing, like It's just such a wonderful time.
It's such a
and
wild
every time I
ride,
watch
dude.
Gremlins 2, I walk away with like massive smile on my face.
Mhm.
I don't have like a ton to say about the plot or the concept behind it. It is just like because that's not what matters.
Yeah, that's not why
It's just
you're not
you
watching
remember when that
Gremlins
thing
2 for the
happened and it was
plot.
either awesome or hilarious? Because that's
Yeah.
Gremlins 2.
Oh my god. Oh, hang on. Okay. God, Gremlins 2. I forgot about Gremlins 2. Thank you for reminding me of the existence of Gremlins 2, Zach.
It's quite the film.
Holy cow.
Okay. Now number 9.
Yeah.
I think I kind of cheated a little bit, but you can watch it as a movie. It would just be a little long, which is
There's no rules here.
there's no rules here, and that means that I can make my number 9 Marble Hornets if I want to.
Oh my god! Zach, that should have been on my list.
I watched Marble Hornets when there were 4 episodes.
Oh my god!
I found that bad boy early.
Wow!
I have a fun Marble Hornets story, actually.
Okay, while you're doing that, I am going to take a shot because that absolutely should have been on my list.
Marble Hornets was filmed in Alabama, and I used to play a lot of Team Fortress 2. I still occasionally play Team Fortress 2, just not as frequently. Like I would play for hours a day. I got pretty good at Spy and okay at some other classes. But one of the guys I played Team Fortress 2 with was from Alabama also, and he worked at like the electronics department for some sort of retailer. I'm forgetting which one. And 2 guys walk in, and this is like 2010, 2011, trying to fix some sort of issue with a camera. And he just stops and says, "Are you the Marble Hornets guys?" And they're like, "Yeah."
Oh my god, that's so good.
Yeah, and like he had to come online and tell us about it because nobody he knew could match that level of like, like they just couldn't comprehend like how cool it was for him to have met, the Marble Hornets guys.
Yeah, nobody else.
It was like, dude, no way.
Nobody else that he talked to knew that was awesome.
It's like when like I've met some people like just out and about in real life who are like, dude, you're an SCP author and you wrote that SCP? Like, dude, I love that one. That's like crazy. And then other people are just like, I have no idea what you two are talking about.
Oh my god.
Is Zach famous? What's going on here?
We should do some SCP videos, man.
I would love to. I would love to do an SCP video.
I love horror, dude. I love horror so much.
I love horror. I love science fiction and just weird shit in general. And SCP scratches that itch. Even though I've done I think I only have one SCP I've written that I would consider a horror story. I think everything else is a little bit of a different genre. But that's fine. They're all like fun in their own right. But yeah, Marble Hornets, to get back to the actual like subject at hand here, is a series you can watch entirely on YouTube, although one of my roommates has the DVDs, which I highly recommend, because it's hard to watch they used to be able to do a thing where on YouTube where you could reply with the video, and that was a major part of the story, was that a channel called To The Arc would reply with these weird, creepy videos to the main Marble Hornets videos, which were found footagey. Actually, they were literally found footage in the story that exists. But basically, the concept is somebody's making a film called Marble Hornets. It's a student film. They rather abruptly call it off and say, we're not making this film. And then one of the people who worked on it says, can I have all the like tapes from Marble Hornets? And the guy who was making it says, yeah, you can. His original plan was to burn them. So he starts trying to compile it and look through and see what's in there. And he starts to notice a weird creature in the background. And this is not where Slender Man came from, but this is what popularized Slender Man is this story. And it's a story of him slowly realizing that Slender Man was creeping around the set, and then slowly realizing that Slender Man is creeping around his real life as he starts to record like a log of him having dark and terrible things happen to him. It is phenomenal. it was like made by complete amateurs, and they absolutely killed it. It is scarier than a lot of like big budget horror movies I've seen, and they made it in the woods in Alabama with what they had.
Like at any given time, if you ask me what the single scariest piece of media I've ever watched is, like it's probably not number one, but it is. My God, for what it is, it's so terrifying.
Yes,
It's
for
gotta be
what
top
it is.
five. Off the top of my head, nothing on my list is as viscerally scary as Marble Hornets is.
Marble Hornets is one of those things that still messes me up a little bit because it plays on
Yeah.
a very real fear of you could look out the window and something that's not supposed to be there is standing and looking at you.
Yes. and it doesn't it has no budget. It has no production value. It's not designed to. It was designed in the time that it existed. It was designed to appear real. And it accomplishes that extraordinarily. It's scary in the same way that finding a diary in your attic is scary. It's scary in the same way that Lovecraft is scary, where
Yeah.
you pick up you pick up an ancient journal and it says that these things have been following him, and you don't. If somebody told me that they had been seeing monsters, I would not believe them. But if somebody told me that they had found a video of someone who says that they're seeing monsters, there's a level of credibility that makes my brain hurt
Yeah.
and scares me deeply. God, we should watch Marble Hornets.
Yeah. Yes. Marble Hornets is 100% worth the watch. If you've heard people hype it up, they weren't hyping it up enough.
Yeah,
honestly.
and Zach, Marble Hornets is pretty old now. There's probably a reasonable number of people watching this who've never heard of it.
Yeah, I would think that that's
I'm
like
sorry for the sleepless nights.
Yeah, I'm sorry. It is. I should note you're going to go in for over 5.5 hours of watching, but well worth it.
Yeah, and
Apparently there
honest.
is a
Oh, go ahead. I'm sorry.
there's a follow up film that was made. I don't know how involved the original folks were, but I have not seen it. It's called "Always Watching a Marble Hornet Story." I don't know if you are asking about that. Apparently, the reviews of it were negative. I have no idea. I have not watched it. I don't know if the original creators were involved. What I do know exists is there is a continuation Marble Hornets comic series that I've had highly recommended to me. Another person I know who's a big Marble Hornets guy says the comics are phenomenal. So,
all right. Now, Zach, we could literally rant about Marble Hornets for an hour.
we could, but we probably shouldn't.
Yes.
That could be its own video.
As a matter of fact, maybe it should.
Yes.
Because you know what? I love horror. I love scary stuff. We're just gonna talk about stuff this stream, this video that we kind of should just turn into their own videos. We can talk about it.
Yes.
Zach, would you like another?
Yeah, I would love to hear your number 9.
My number 9 is Wreck.
Ooh. I have not seen that, but that is on my my roommate has a list of horror movies he wants to watch before the end of like the Halloween season. And Wreck is on that list. I have had this recommended to me many a time.
Yeah. Wreck is the best zombie movie ever made. It is a Spanish language film, so it's all subtitled, and it follows these reporters who are interviewing people at a fire station. The people at the fire station get a call, and they ride with the fire station on their call. They're just like local newscasters doing a piece on the local fire department. And they arrive at this apartment building where a woman is sick. And while they're up there, some organization seals them in. We don't see anything that happens. All we see is people in hazmat suits seal the outside of the building. And meanwhile, this person that they came to check up on begins to get sick and begins to turn. And it is all from the perspective of these two very normal, very scared people trying to figure out how to get out of this terrifying zombie-infested apartment building.
It's such a wonderful framing device.
Yeah.
To have, they're just reporters. That's why you're seeing it, as is, and it makes it feel real.
Yep. It's the best descriptor I can give for it is claustrophobic. You are trapped in here with, you're trapped in a finite space with 30 people and you cannot leave. And some of them are starting to eat each other. It's horrifying. It's truly terrifying. And I cannot recommend it enough. If you are the sort of person who doesn't care for subtitles, they did make a remake called Quarantine. It is an English language remake called Quarantine, which is good. It's good. It's fine. But similar to Marble Hornets, Wreck has this sort of low budget kind of feel that makes it feel like it adds a layer of legitimacy to the storytelling device that Quarantine just doesn't have. Quarantine is I don't dislike Quarantine, and I enjoy watching it. It's fun and it's scary, but it's not the same movie. Wreck is just too good. Quarantine, by the way, has Dexter's sister from Dexter. If anyone's
Interesting.
Yeah, if anyone is a big fan of Deborah Morgan, she's in Quarantine.
Huh. All right.
How you ready for my number 8?
Is that how we're snaking it? Sure.
Yeah. Let's go.
Sure.
I don't know. This game has no rules. I'm just
This
gonna
game
do
has
it.
no rules. Sure. Cool. What's your number 8?
This is I don't think this is gonna be a hot take. A Quiet Place.
Oh.
Yeah. A Quiet Place is really good and really scary. I don't know what you want from me. I strongly advise watching A Quiet Place with many people. Because there is so little dialogue, and if you get a bunch of people together who are into horror movies, you will have 10 people in a room closely packed in dead pin drop silence. And it's such a cool sensation when the silence is broken in the movie. And everyone begins moving and making noise all at the same time. It is phenomenally acted. And I, being a big fan of American Sign Language, it is used to great effect. And the lack of verbal communication is used as a storytelling device, which I think is really cool. I really enjoy it, and I really recommend it. The second one, similar to Quarantine, is good. It's good. It's good. It's worth a watch. And it was actually shot in Western New York, which is a place near and dear to my heart.
It's a place where we know some people from.
Yeah. As a matter of fact, one of the scenes takes place on the Grand Island Bridge.
Yes.
Which is a bridge that I have driven over.
Too many times.
Yeah, literally 1,000 times, maybe. I don't know.
Yeah, I concur.
Yeah, and that's cool to see.
Yeah, I haven't watched A Quiet Place. I feel like I've seen part of it, never finished it. For whatever reason, I don't know. I did not feel compelled to see it, but I agree with I don't think I ever had a large group of people to watch it with, which feels right for something that has that sort of premise attached to it, where it's going to be very quiet for a very long time. I feel like it's better watched with a group.
Yeah, it's the kind of movie that's definitely designed to be seen in a theater.
Yeah, yes, I have heard as much, and I did not get an opportunity to see it in the theater when it came out. So I'll have to wait till I have a good crew of folks to watch it with. Man, it's gonna be weird that like I have some like truly beloved horror films and some deep cuts in this list, and judging from the first three, you're not gonna think that at all, because my number 8, Tom, is Army of Darkness.
Yeah. Now I have not watched any of the Evil Dead movies. Is
Army
this
of Darkness is the best one.
this is Evil Dead 3?
Yes. Army of Darkness. So Evil Dead is a horror film. Evil Dead 2 is a comedy horror film that is basically just a remake of Evil Dead,
I've heard that. Yeah.
but funnier and with a better budget, because the first Evil Dead is super cheap. Army of Darkness is a weird screwball story using Evil Dead as a like backdrop to tell like the story of, you know, a character who experiences the plot of Evil Dead, loses someone near and dear to him, has to chop off his hand to stop his body from getting possessed, has a hand that is now a chainsaw because, you know, why not? And then gets sucked into a vortex and goes to, depending on, well, I guess it's technically back in time to a medieval fantasy world where he has to find the Necronomicon
Right.
in order to travel forward in time.
Right.
And in doing so, he royally screws it up by saying the wrong incantation.
Yeah.
And an evil clone of him who he killed comes back to life and raises an army of the dead, which he then must destroy.
Yeah. That sounds
It's
stupid.
as ridiculous as it sounds, and it's amazing.
Yeah. Oh my god. Yes. I love dumb stuff.
Yeah, the Necronomicon shows up just so somebody can say the wrong incantation to get access to it. The skeletons are like an undead are really fun, and it's just fun to watch him like use the technology he has to try and like train his army to stand up to the undead, and just like all the like wonderful, goofy, and weird things that happen in it. There's the part where the clone's splitting off of his body, and there's some wonderful effects of like there being two ashes in, but like at the top, but they're splitting off at the legs and all that. Bruce Campbell is such a phenomenal, cheesy like movie actor, and he just plays it up. And the fact that there are two Bruce Campbells, one who's the good guy and one who's the bad guy, makes the movie better. So definitely my favorite of Sam Raimi's films by a lot. Although I have a soft spot for Darkman. That'd probably be my number 2. But definitely Sam Raimi's best movie, and I have to highly recommend it as a Halloween watch, because I watch it every year around Halloween.
That's an excellent choice, I think. I have not seen it. The only Evil Dead... Here's a weird statement. The only Evil Dead I have ever seen is the Evil Dead remake from 2013. Starring Jane Levi, I think?
I've not seen that. I heard it was fine.
I found it good. Granted, it was my first foray into the Evil Dead universe, but I thought it was pretty good as a horror movie. It took itself very seriously.
Yeah, which, I mean, I think the first one tried to do, is just the budget wasn't there. The subsequent Evil Dead films do not take themselves nearly as seriously.
All right. Okay.
So I guess my number 7 is up next.
Yeah, do it.
Okay, my number 7. We're gonna cut into something a little deep here. It's Nightbreed.
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 This is a kind of gross, fucked up film from Clive Barker, who only knows how to make gross, fucked up films.
What the hell is Nightbreed?
It is about a man whose psychologist frames him as a serial killer because his psychologist is actually the serial killer. And in running from the like I think yeah, he gets drugged and like taken to a hospital, and then he meets an insane person, and then following the insane person's orders, he finds a city underneath a graveyard in the middle of nowhere that turns him into some sort of like extra special magical human thing because he meets Baphomet, the like deity. And he becomes like this like human monster thing where I think he needs to drink blood, and it's a whole weird mess that's like a combination horror film and action movie that's awesome and messed up and weird. And the villain is his uh, therapist psychologist, who is played by David Cronenberg.
I just found that out. The music is by Danny Elfman.
The music is by Danny Elfman.
Yeah.
David Cronenberg, the famous director, plays the villain in this one. And the funny thing is, like, he wears this creepy serial killer mask, which I believe is based off of an actual horrifying criminal in real life. I have no confirmation, but it looks very similar to a real life true crime case. And there's a fun scene where somebody rips his mask off and it's David Cronenberg's face underneath. And it's undercut by the fact that young David Cronenberg was really fucking hot. Young David Cronenberg looks the way I want to look.
Oh my god, that's so funny.
So that's the one horror moment that's a little undercut. But David Cronenberg plays a serial killer perfectly, and it's really like terrifying. And the action scene at the end where they're fighting in the city underneath a graveyard and like shit's falling apart, it's excellent. I can't recommend it enough. So Nightbreed, it's been a hot minute since I've seen it, but it's on my list of to rewatch this year. And it is also for whatever reason, I mean, I guess I can kind of see it. There's kind of like a metaphor for like being closeted gay in the 80s, because it was written in 1988 and made into a movie in 1990 that a lot of people have written about. I think that's highly exaggerated from my understanding of the film, but I'm not in the correct. I don't want to enforce that opinion upon others. I've heard that take from multiple people. I don't see it. That doesn't mean it's not there.
Zach, young David Cronenberg looks like a hot Bill Gates.
Yeah, sexy Bill Gates is a great way to describe young David Cronenberg.
Zach, I have never heard of this movie, but I'm gonna watch it now.
Like I said, everything with Clive Barker is weird and gross, but man, oh man, is it a fun, weird and gross film?
Zach, are you ready? Are you ready for a fun take for my number 7?
I am ready for the fun take for number 7.
It, 1990.
I have seen this one before, so I guess I'm taking a drink.
Yeah! It's so much fun!
Tim Curry's amazing.
He is!
If you put Tim Curry in something, like, there are actors who are bad. There are actors who are bad in certain roles. And then there are actors who are good in every role they're in, even if the product itself is bad. You will never see a Jeff Bridges movie where Jeff Bridges does a bad performance. He always knocks it out of the park, and it's just that the rest of the movie sucks. So I feel the same way about a lot of other actors. And one of those actors is Tim Curry.
He's incredible. It's fantastic. One might even deign to say smashing. It's like the cheesiest, most ridiculous movie, but everyone in the movie takes it very seriously, except Tim Curry, who is playing Pennywise the Clown.
Yeah, everybody takes it super serious. This is the most hardcore serious film that's ever been made. And Tim Curry is treating it like it's his stand-up special.
Yeah, Tim Curry is just giving it his best 90-minute stand-up. It's so good.
The contrast is what makes it.
Oh, dude, it's great. This, by the way, is the only movie on this list that I think, I don't know if family friendly is the right word, but it is not I don't feel the need to even really put a content warning on it. There is some blood, but it was originally designed as a TV special, and it aired on ABC in the 90s. And
it's about as clear as you can get for it.
Yes.
Especially, there's definitely a lot more in the more recent It films. I guess because there's two of them. I never actually saw one of the more recents. And the book is all sorts of fucked up.
Yes.
So, although I feel like that's to the book's benefit, actually. That's my hot take.
I cannot recommend it. It is a 444,000 word pile of fucking cocaine fueled madness. It's a lot, Zach. It's a lot to get through. Consider that literally the entire collected works of A Song of Ice and Fire are 1.6 million words. It is 444,000 words. It's too long.
It's very long. I think the benefit of the long, fucked up written version is it really hammers home the title, because it is the way we as adults acknowledge things we don't want to talk about.
Yeah,
it hammers that theme home consistently. But I feel like the TV special is actually very good at transferring that theme through.
Hold on, let me give that a thought. Yes, I agree. Actually. That's a good take.
It distills the original message without you having to read the equivalent of 2 George R. R. Martin novels.
Oh, wait, no, hold on. It 1990 does need it needs a self-harm content warning, that's for sure. There's a scene that is really quite shocking the first time through. If you've watched the movie, or if you've watched any of the movies or read the book, you know what I'm talking about. If you haven't, look, it's a really good movie. Okay, It 1990 is the definitive It. It is better than the new ones. Not that I want to cast aspersions on the new ones. They're actually fine. They're pretty good actually. I find them a little underwhelming, but they are good. But the 1990 special is 90 minutes of just Tim Curry hamming it up and terrifying these children. It's great. It's incredible. It's everything that Halloween is supposed to be. It's Tim Curry in a scary mask, scaring children, and not, I don't know, he's doing harm, all right? He's a bad actor, but I don't know how much harm he's doing, all right? He's just trying to eat. I empathize with Tim Curry as Pennywise.
That's his diet.
Yeah! Man, that movie's really good. Go watch it, all right? Just go watch it. Zach, I'm going to do another one.
Go for it. You're number 6. I knew this was going to be on there.
Yeah!
I knew it. There's no way you would not have the Cabin in the Woods on here.
It's really good!
It is.
It is a beautiful deconstruction of the horror movie genre that is also, in and of itself, an excellent self-contained horror movie.
It is. No bad things to say about it at all.
Also, much like Us, it's really funny. Every character is very funny.
Yeah, it's got that snarky Joss Whedon-y dialogue to it, which doesn't always work in films, but here it does. Since it's a strict deconstruction of the horror genre, it works quite well.
Yeah, it is set out to be satire. It is designed to be satire of horror movies. That is also one of the best horror movies I've ever seen. It's properly scary, especially in the climax. I'm not going to spoil the climax for people who haven't seen it, because the what happens at the end of the movie, it makes the movie. like the climax is really frightening, actually. Like seeing all the monsters is horrifying in almost an existential way. And uh I am a big fan of the ending for what it is, although I know some people disagree with me on that. Also, oh no, I can't remember his name. Zach, what is the name of the guy from The West Wing who is also in that and also in Get Out?
Oh gosh. Hold on.
He plays the not the chief of staff on The West Wing, the communications director.
Gosh, it's been a hot minute since I've watched The West Wing. We should do a West Wing rewatch.
No, we can't just. This can't just be a videos we should do episode. Who plays on The West Wing? Let's say no, not Martin Sheen. Bradley Whitford. Bradley Whitford plays Josh Lyman. Josh Lyman plays a character that I think is really, really funny in this movie. But again, all of these are funny in character, right? They're funny in the movie, but none of them takes away from the movie itself. It is not writers making jokes. It feels like, just like us, it feels like people making jokes in these situations.
Very natural conversation.
Exactly.
From people who happen to be funny.
Yeah. And it's really good, and I like it, and you should watch it. And that's it. That's the end of my thing on the Cabin in the Woods before I spoil the flip. Also, Chris Hemsworth's in it.
Yes.
Chris Hemsworth is in it and is a good actor. What do you want from me?
Yeah.
Yeah. Go watch it. It's good.
Okay, so I guess it is time for my number 6.
Yeah.
My number 6 is, I gotta get the year because there's many versions of this film. Hold on. It's the 2020 version of The Invisible Man.
Oh my god, hold on. Yeah, I think I have to take a shot. That should have been on my list. I say that should have been on my list because it's in my honorable mentions. Click.
I really like this one. Might suffer for some recency bias, but I really enjoyed this. It is by Leigh Whannell, who I didn't really like any of his other films that he has worked on or wrote, but this is the first. Actually, it's not even the first one that he wrote and directed because it was Insidious Chapter 3, and I'm not an Insidious guy. He wrote and directed this one, and man, oh man, did he nail it!
Oh yeah.
He took The Invisible Man, a concept that probably doesn't hold up all that well to modern standards of what a horror movie should be. You can't just do The Invisible Man the way it was. Not I adore the old Invisible Man, but if you're just trying to make that now, I feel like people wouldn't be as into it.
Yeah,
and he made it something.
The formula just kind of doesn't work for what it used to be.
Yes. This film is about abuse and gaslighting, and it's actually horrifying. It is actually horrifying to watch the character go through this and lose her mind and feel like there is something wrong, and her slowly piecing things together and trying to prove to people that she is not insane and that she is actually being taunted by an invisible man is great.
It is remarkably compelling. It's so good.
The scene where he is busting out of the prison that she's in, the jail cell or whatever, is one of my favorites in a horror film. It's that pivots seamlessly to action in the middle of a horror film in a way that is incredibly satisfying and still scary. Just to watch him toy with people, pretty much.
Yes.
And yeah, it is just I cannot recommend it enough. Blumhouse did a phenomenal job with this one.
Yeah.
and I would love to see more classic monster movies with a modern spin like this.
Yeah.
I don't know what else you can do, but this is a like great proof of concept in that you can take these old classic horror monster movies and update them for modern audiences.
Something I'm really fond of about The Invisible Man is, which I have watched, by the way, so I am taking a drink.
Yes,
Hey, have you seen The Cabin in the Woods?
I did. I took a drink already.
Yeah, all right, good. I got my eye on you. I like that they pretty much seamlessly turned The Invisible Man into a sci-fi movie.
Yes,
Which is really cool. uh, my favorite scene in that movie is the scene in the attic, where she climbs up into the attic, and it is in that scene that I learned that I was not in a suspense movie, which is what I came to the. I saw this at the drive-in. That's what I went to the drive-in to see.
I was there with you.
Wait, we saw this together?
We saw this together when it came out.
That's right, and we saw it with some other awful movie.
It was it was the first movie, and this one blew us away. And it was me, you, and another friend, and we were all like, "Yo, that movie was excellent. Let's stick around and watch the other one." And we did, and the other one sucked, so we could have left.
Oh my god, was the other one that like Hunger Games but political thing?
Hunger Games, but political, but like their only understanding of politics was watching people argue on Twitter.
Yeah,
yes.
yeah. Yeah, that's the one.
I forget what that one's called. It's so forgettable. All I remember is feeling uncomfortable the entire time, and I think John Hamm is in it as a guy from Staten Island.
In that scene in the attic, I realized that this movie was that this was a horror movie.
Yes, that scene's phenomenal. Also,
yeah, her like creeping over to the top of the ladder with the paint.
Yes,
it's really good. I thought genuinely, I thought that she was going to overturn that paint bucket and it was just going to fall on the floor. Like, honest to God, I thought it was just going to fall on the floor.
That scene is so conceptually good. That's what I like about him being the writer and the director. He clearly had an image in his head of how it was going to look when he wrote that, and he captured it perfectly.
Wait a minute, he wrote and directed that movie?
He wrote and directed that movie. And I can't imagine it any other way.
The guy from you're talking about the actor for I don't know the characters.
No. The person who made the movie, Lee Winnell. I don't think he plays anybody in it.
Oh, okay.
He wrote and directed it specifically, I presume, so that he could get shots like that right.
I thought that you were telling me that the guy who plays, I don't know his name, but the guy who plays the Invisible Man is the guy from Haunting of Hill House. I thought you were telling me he was the writer and the director.
No. Oh yeah, he's the Hill House guy.
He is the Hill House guy. Yeah, he is very friendly Hill House brother, and he's really good in that movie. Also, just a quick, like hat tip to Elizabeth Moss, I think.
Yes, Elizabeth Moss,
who plays the main character in that movie, who is truly phenomenal.
She nails it the whole way through. You can, without her saying things, you can see like the gears turning in her head. The same way they're turning like in yours as she is solving problems. You as the audience are figuring them out at the same time, and she conveys that perfectly.
Yeah, it doesn't look to me like they told her to exaggerate any facial expressions, because that whole movie, she just looks like a normal person reacting. It's really good.
Yes. Yeah.
Zach, what's your number 5?
My number 5 is A Scanner Darkly. This is going to be a controversial pick.
A Scanner Darkly. Okay, I have not... Oh, well. Hold on. Control Z. Hold on, Tom tabs out just to make sure that he is recording.
You are indeed recording.
Okay, perfect. The Scanner.
A Scanner Darkly.
Oh, A Scanner Darkly.
Yes. A Scanner Darkly is probably not your typical Halloween pick, but it scratches that itch correct for me. A Scanner Darkly is a sci-fi story by Philip K. Dick about addiction, and it's about a drug addict who is also like an undercover cop to catch drug addicts. And they did the very interesting choice of filming this entire movie, rotoscoping over it, or filming it in rotoscope, I believe is the proper term. It's been a while since I went to film school. And then having an animation studio draw over the live action, which gives it this weird, sort of unsettling vibe the whole time. And the soundtrack and the way it's like written and directed, you just get a bad vibe the entire time you're watching it. And the characters also slowly losing touch with reality.
Whoa. It's got this weird, like, crazy cel-shaded Borderlands art style.
Yes. And the characters are like freaking out because they're drug addicts and they can't get a fix. And when they do get a fix, they're out of it. And it is maybe not what most people would think of as a Halloween watching fare, but man, oh man, does it hit the right vibe for me.
Zach, how have I never heard of this movie starring, and I'm joking about none of these names, starring Keanu Reeves, Robert Downey Jr., Woody Harrelson, and Winona Ryder? How have I never heard of this movie? Is it bad?
No, it's weird. It's Richard Linklater, who always does weird stuff. And very regrettably has a cameo appearance from Alex Jones back when, you know.
Oh no!
However, he gets arrested in his only scene, so it's a good ending.
We all end happy.
It's crazy that Richard Linklater made this movie after he made School of Rock.
Wow! Oh my god! What a filmography!
This is a good one to put on late at night, because I think if you watched it in the middle of the day, you'd be like, why am I watching this like Halloween season? But if you put this one on after you've had a couple horror movies on already, like there's a tangible sense of like tension and like fear and anxiety that just simmers this entire film. And I feel like if you're already in the right mood for it, it fits in perfectly.
Executive producers Steven Soderbergh and George Clooney.
Yep.
My God.
Yeah, this thing was a passion project that Linklater's friends helped him get made, I believe. I can't say that for certainty, because a lot of Linklater stuff is just stuff he really wanted to do. Except maybe School of Rock. I don't know. Maybe School of Rock was actually what he wanted to do, and he's like, now I had to go make a really weird, messed up sci-fi movie.
It lost at the box office. How did this lose at the box office?
I think there's a lot of Philip K. Dick adaptations coming out in the 2000s. It's the same decade that gave us oh goodness, what's the one with Tom Cruise? Where with the People Who Remember.
I know why. It only opened in 17 theaters.
Yes. This is Cannes Film Festival thing. Yeah.
The hell is George Clooney doing at the Cannes Film Festival?
He shows up there all the time.
Okay. All right, Zach, I'm in. I'm in for it. It's weird, but I'm in for it.
Like I said, like if you watch this as your first one, you're not going to get the movie I was thinking of was the Minority Report with Tom Cruise. Yeah, if you watch this just as its own without putting it in a block of horror films, I don't know if it'll track as much. But I always get like an unsettling feeling when I watch this movie. So I feel like that is appropriate for Halloween.
Zach, I'm gonna watch this weird Philip K. Dick movie. Like 100%, I'm gonna watch this. It has too many excellent actors, and it lost too much money for me not to watch it. Zach, that's a good pick. That's a good weird pick.
Yeah.
All right, Zach, I got a good one for you. Ready?
Yes.
Shoop. Scream.
Scream.
Yeah. Very good movie. I thought it belonged on the list right next to Cabin in the Woods. Because
Similar reason.
yeah, it's not the same movie by any means, but it sets out to do a similar thing. It is a deconstruction of the slasher genre, while at the same time being the best slasher movie? Question mark? Maybe?
I think my next two entries are going to argue are the best two slasher movies, and they're also notably not slasher movies.
Ooh, okay.
In fact, I think I might get shit for putting number 4 on a Halloween list, but I guess we're in the controversial section of my list.
Yeah.
So
I'm trying to find when it was released. Is it Scream 1990? 1996. Not to be confused with Scream 2020? Scream 2022. Which is also very good. Scream 2022, by the way, stars it stars many of the original people from the original Scream, and also Huey from The Boys. And
Ooh.
it is unironically very funny. It's not funny like horror movies are funny sometimes, where they're very. It's not funny like Gremlins 2 is funny. It's actually funny, and a lot of the jokes really land. But that is not the Scream we're talking about here. This is Scream 96.
Yeah, that's Jack Quaid, who's on an episode of Best of the Worst. I always forget about that.
That's extraordinary, dude. The original Scream, it takes a horror gimmick, a villain who calls you, a stalker who calls you, who calls you and knows things about you. And it turns it into a big, like, small town-wide mystery, where there is this discussion about about who the killer is, who is the person that they're talking about, who is Ghostface.
Yeah.
And the resolution, it turns out, is really good. It's really very good. There's this, and as I say, it's also very funny. There's this scene that I know is cheesy as hell, that I'm hugely fond of. One of the characters is lounging on the couch at the end of a party. Meanwhile, the killer has killed like 3 people at this party. He's sitting there eating popcorn on the couch, watching Halloween, and like pointing at the TV and being like, "Come on, he's right behind you. Turn around, he's right behind you." And meanwhile, the killer is literally just like casually walking up behind him and like looking down at him. It's really good, and it actually does land, and I recommend it. Yeah, there it is. There you go.
Isn't that Wes Craven, maybe?
Is that Wes Craven? Hold on, I'll find out.
Scream. Hold on.
Scream,
Yeah, Wes Craven.
1996. Yeah.
Who also did the Nightmare on Elm Street films, and like some other classic horror films of that era from the 70s to the 80s.
I also really respect that they clickbaited the shit out of their audience by having Drew Barrymore as top billing. And they killed her in the first 5 minutes of the movie.
Which they make fun of in the first Scary Movie.
Yeah!
They make fun of that specific trope, which is weird because I cannot think of another horror movie that does that in earnest.
Neither can I. It's wild that is a thing we make fun of consistently, and I think they're the only people who've done that.
The only thing I can think of is that in the most recent American Godzilla, Bryan Cranston gets top billing, I think, and he's dead by the end of the first act. Spoilers for that Godzilla movie.
Spoilers.
Spoilers. Like, uh, yeah,
yeah, there you go.
am.
I am also a huge fan of the twist. The conclusion of the original Scream is extraordinary. Uh, uh, it is one of the best played. It is one of the best conclusions to a mystery that I have ever seen. Right? It is a conclusion to a mystery satisfying that is satisfying enough that I would have believed that it was like written by Agatha Christie or something, right? It feels like the conclusion to a mystery movie by someone who has written a lot of mystery movies. It's really well done. Zach, do you remember what happens at the end of Scream?
No, I should take a drink because I've definitely seen it.
Yeah, do it.
I don't. I watched Scream as a kid, which I should not have done.
No. I'm about to spoil the end of Scream, and I mean it's you don't watch it. Well, it is a good mystery. Pause the video here, go watch the entirety of Scream, and then come back. Scream. It turns out that there have been all of these moments where the main character is worried that her boyfriend is the killer, right? He's been absent at suspicious times, and he's acting a little strange, like he comes in like with a little bit of blood on him, and he's like, "Oh, I got a bloody nose," and and she is suspecting him, but then around the midpoint of the movie, there is a murder while he was with her. So she rules him out. And then in the conclusion of the movie, she thinks she has cornered the killer, who is played by Matthew Lillard. Uh who also played Shaggy in the Scooby-Doo movies. She is staring down Matthew Lillard, who she has come to the conclusion is the killer, and then her boyfriend like strides up behind her and is like, "Oh no, you didn't figure it out? We were working on this together." And it turns out that it's a 2-person murder team, and they've both been wearing the mask, and it's really good.
I forgot about that. You're right.
It's really good, and I like it. Yeah. All right, Zach, you want my number 4?
Yes, I do.
All right, hold on. My number 4. I had to put a little bit of cosmic on here. There's going to be more cosmic horror in my honorable mentions, but I had to throw this one in because it's too good. Zach. Oh, I'm writing in black. There we go. Haven't done that in a while. Color Out of Space.
Color Out of Space.
Have I talked to you about this movie?
No.
This is a 2019 movie. It's very recent.
Starring. No, I think you have mentioned this actually.
Starring Nicolas Cage and featuring Tommy Chong of Cheech and Chong. And it is based on the Lovecraft story of the same name, The Color Out of Space.
And this is by Richard Stanley, who did. He was in the documentary Lost Soul, which is about his movie, The Island of Dr. Moreau, falling apart during filming.
Yes, you talked to me about this at length.
Yes. And then he came back to filmmaking with this as his return after not having... I guess he wrote a film in 2017, but he had not directed a movie at that point for 25 years.
Yes. And this is a triumph. I am a huge Lovecraft fan. I love it. And The Color Out of Space is fucking boring. Nothing happens. It's such a dull story. It's very short. If anybody wants to go read it, it's not like a bad read, but it is boring. Nothing happens the whole thing. And I love what Richard Stanley has done. He has taken a boring story and amped up all of the weird parts about it until it's fucking crazy. I love it. I love the visuals. It is this beautiful it's all the whole movie is in this beautiful like ethereal neon pinks and blues. These wild robin's egg blues. It's gorgeous. It stars Nicolas Cage as a dad. And he and his wife and their two kids are they live really deep in the really deep in the forest, like really in like deep rural country. And he for the first half of the movie plays like an honest, like caring father and husband. He doesn't have a perfect relationship with his wife, who's played by Jolie Richardson. Jolie Richardson is also a phenomenal actor in this movie. They don't have a perfect relationship, but Nicolas Cage is trying, and they have had some hardship in the past that he is trying to overcome. And over the course of the movie, an asteroid hits nearby, and everything begins to change and get weird, and the characters aren't sure what's real and what's not, and all the characters' mental states have been deeply, horribly affected. And Nicolas Cage, goes from playing a normal, honest, caring father to
Playing Nicolas Cage.
Playing Nicolas Cage at the end of the movie. It's so good. It's incredible. It's incredible. He devolves into Nicolas Cage. It's great. And they took his leash off, Zach. They let him be as weird as he wanted to be because that was the point. And watching him devolve is so satisfying and funny and horrifying and tragic and just truly excellent cover to cover. I strongly recommend it. Deeply, unfortunately, I think that this movie would have performed very well, but it hit theaters right before COVID. It was released in theaters January 24th of 2020, which was not a great time.
Yes.
Which was not
a bad time for release.
It's a bad time for everybody. And with a budget of 6 to 12 million, it made $1 million at the box office. Which really sucks, right? It really sucks because it's a really good movie, and he wanted to make it a trilogy. He was gonna do the Dunwich Horror next, which is a really good Lovecraft story. But I don't know if he's gonna be able to because that one flopped so hard.
Yeah, which is a shame.
It really is. It's a huge shame. I love it. It's a really good movie, and I think it might be one of the most visually beautiful movies I've ever seen.
I'll have to go to watch. That seems like it's my kind of thing.
Yeah. It's very much up your alley. All right, Zach, give me your number 4, but not your number 3. Not your number 3.
That's what I thought we were going to do.
Yeah.
This is going to be controversial because people are going to say this is not a Halloween film.
Oh, okay.
And they're correct. But I'm a big sucker for the history of film. And this movie set rules for how a monster is portrayed in a movie. And I got to give some respect to the OG.
Okay.
This movie is Jaws.
Yeah! Yeah!
Nobody knew how to put a monster in a movie until the monster was just a shark.
Zach, this is not a Halloween movie.
You're correct. And I'm watching it around Halloween time anyway.
Yeah! Yeah, you tell him!
That movie, that entire, once they get on the boat and it's just them and the shark out there, it is a horror movie.
Yeah.
Does it take forever to get there? Yes, correct. But we get some great scenes before then. We know exactly what the stakes are. And I cannot think of a movie that inspired more fear in the world than this one. Because people were not afraid of sharks who live in the middle of, the Midwest.
Yeah.
until Jaws happened.
Nobody
Now
in
everyone
Indiana
is
was
afraid of
scared of
sharks.
sharks until Jaws came out.
Yeah. I have to give some respect to the legend here.
Yeah.
This movie may have scared more people than any movie that ever existed.
That's a good take.
Yeah. And what is horror if not giving you new things to worry about?
Also a good
And
take.
I just love how you're getting horror out of very believable things. I love weird, gross, esoteric stuff, as we can see by Nightbreed being on here, and my adoration for like Gremlins 2, the weird, off the wall, crazy stuff. But I like when you can take something very real and make it scary. And being out in a boat in the middle of the ocean with something trying to eat you is one of those unique little bits of fear.
Yeah. It taps into the same fear that the Call of Cthulhu does, except instead of the Call of Cthulhu, it's like Florida.
It's just a shark, which is a thing you can find and can eat you.
Yeah,
That's why yeah.
You can find them and they're not that hard.
Yeah. They exaggerate the aggressiveness and danger of sharks, which is true, but like you could still be killed by a shark. This is still true.
All right, Zach, I'm giving it to you. That should have been on my list. I don't know that I would have put it on a Halloween list, but I sure would have put it in the honorable mentions. Clink. That's a good pick, Zach. Oh, that's good apple juice. Yeah.
Okay. I think we've reached the honorable mentions point.
We have. I'm gonna write them down here, and I'll just type them out and then I'll erase them and type them out again. I have more honorable mentions than you, I think.
Let me see how many honorable mentions I have. I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6.
I think I have 9.
Okay.
Yes. You know
Do you want me to go first?
You know what I'm gonna do? I'm gonna make this font really small, and then
We'll put them as a whole list.
Yeah, I'm just gonna put them like around the sides.
Okay.
That sounds fun and weird.
Yeah, that's what our videos look like, so
Yeah.
that's fine by me.
Yeah, sure.
Do you want me to go first?
No, how about I go first because I got so many more.
Okay, go for it.
Honorable mention, Halloween.
Classic.
Right, we gotta talk about it. Right, Halloween is very good. It is not my favorite slasher movie or my favorite Halloween movie, but that doesn't mean that I don't enjoy watching it. And I am a big fan of the new Halloween canon that they have been doing in the last, 5 years. I find them very good. And I'm defiant about it. There you go.
No, Halloween's a good film. It feels a little quaint knowing what came after, but like in the same way that I got to give a lot of respect to Jaws, I had to give a ton of respect to Halloween. It invented the slasher movie pretty much. You could say, well, actually, technically, this happened. But every single slasher movie that exists after Halloween would not exist without Halloween. It's like every movie with a bunch of like muscular dudes and guns in the jungle. You know that happened after Predator.
Yes. Yep.
every single movie where somebody like dual wields pistols and jumps around in a trench coat. You know that came out after The Matrix. Any movie where somebody stalks teenagers and kills them, you know that came out after Halloween.
Yeah. All right, Zach, what do you got?
For one of my honorable mentions, we are going to go with Creepshow.
Creepshow? I don't know Creepshow.
Creepshow is directed by George Romero, written by Stephen King, multiple different stories that are just like shown in an anthology, and it is just fun little Stephen King stories. I think the one that everybody loves the most is Something to Tide You Over, which has Leslie Nielsen, famous from The Naked Gun and Airplane movies, as the villain, and he buries people as the tide starts coming in, which is great, phenomenal. But there's like 5 different little stories in there of different lengths, and Father's Day, The Lonesome Death of Jordy Verrill, which has Stephen King himself as like this, really country bumpkin farmer who touches a meteorite and starts turning into a horrifying like plants growing on his body sort of thing.
man, that's the plot of The Color Out of Space.
Actually, The Lonesome Death of Jordy Verrill is basically A Color Out of Space as a horror comedy.
Oh, fun.
Yeah. Yeah. I won't go through all of the 5 stories, but like, because the crate is just about a monster in a crate.
Sure.
It's like, well, I mean, it's about more than that, but yeah. Highly recommend. It's also super stylized. It's meant to look like a comic book. So like the colors are super exaggerated, and it's just fun. It's just a fun movie that I recommend you watch.
Zach, I've added another one to my list because it's our show and we can do whatever we want.
Sure,
Zach, can I say one?
go for it.
What do you think of the Vivitch?
The Vivitch I have not seen, but I've heard nothing but good things about.
The Vivitch is hard to watch. Not because it deals with
That means I'll love it.
right. Not because it deals with like extremely like graphic scenes or like really really hard concepts, but because it is shot and written in this very very antiquated fashion. All of the characters talk as though it is 17th century New England. And that makes it very hard to understand sometimes. But overall, I thought it was a very good movie. It's not my style of movie. That kind of period piece, that kind of historical fiction is not really my style. I'm more of an Abraham Lincoln vampire hunter kind of guy. But it is really good. It's a great movie, and that's the rub, right? It's a good movie, but I don't really enjoy watching it. It feels like an English lesson sometimes when I'm watching it. So when I watch it, it's when I'm in an analytical mood as opposed to a I want to be scared mood. Zach, hit me with one? Let's go.
Yeah. That's a good pick there. I wasn't expecting it, honestly.
It's good. It's good. It's good, and it feels quite Halloween-y, actually, because a lot of Halloween feels very like Puritan. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
A lot of the influences feel very like early settlers, like harvesty kind of dealio. So it feels quite Halloween-y. And man, is it creepy. Man, is it creepy. Also, it's got, by the way, it has Lysa Tully from Game of Thrones in it.
Oh, neat.
Yeah.
I'm gonna put another one on my honorable mentions.
Yeah.
Rocky Horror.
Excuse me while we both take a shot, as that was my next honorable mention.
Well, that knocks that one out.
There it is. Literally the next one on my list.
I actually skipped it because it was the first time I listened. Like, I'm gonna do Creep Show first. Rocky Horror Picture Show. I adore. I've
really
heard
good.
many takes on it and how it's aged and how it was at the time and all that. I just want to say it like they were very well aware of what they were making at the time. Richard O'Brien, if you don't know anything about him, came from a very like underground they don't like people like us in theater sort of background, where he wanted to make weird shit with his friends who didn't fit in. And let me tell you, he nailed it. Let me tell you how perfectly he did exactly that. A lot of people think this is something that like over the years was like found and like appropriated by like a group of people, and that's not true. It was always owned by the weirdos, from start to finish.
It was never not a trans movie, Zach. It was
I don't want to say it that explicitly. I want to say like
I
he
want to
like
say it that explicitly, motherfucker.
this was
It's
always
the
made for the
gayest
people.
movie on planet Earth.
This is one of the gayest movies on planet Earth. This was always made for people who didn't feel like they fit in.
I think that's a good take.
Yeah, that whether that doesn't necessarily like make it one specific way or the other, but man, oh man, can you tell that they were like, "Yep, this is the movie I wanted to make, and fuck you if you don't like it."
Yeah,
and I admire the shit out of that.
And also, as we've stated, everything with Tim Curry in it is fantastic.
Yes, and this I feel like this is his best role. Like he goes up there.
That's a hot take.
I will defend that. This is the role that I remember him for. And like, man, oh man, does he like in every scene feel like he's killing it. And Richard O'Brien,
I believe
the music,
the word is slaying.
He's slaying. Yeah,
yeah.
He like everybody in it is clearly having fun. Richard O'Brien made some amazing music. And yeah,
so did Meatloaf, by the way.
So Meatloaf is in it. Yes, Meatloaf is in it in possibly his best performance in a film. And I am a person who adores Fight Club, so it's not easy for me to say.
Oh my god, he is in Fight Club, isn't he?
Yeah, he is.
Oh my god.
I like like I said, this was made in the underground. They didn't care what anybody thought about it, and it lives on forever because of that.
Yes.
And I admired the shit out of stuff like that. I admire somebody saying, I'm going to make my weird ass movie and you're all going to watch it.
As you all at home are going to learn a little bit about me. I am not a person with a sexuality that most people around me growing up thought was good. they didn't
That's one way to phrase it.
They didn't care if my family is very Catholic. I didn't care for it, okay? And this movie is one of the things. You know what I mean? It's one of the things that made a person realize, but imagine people without the internet. People without people that they could talk to. This was one of the things. Like, you had a friend who had the Rocky Horror Picture Show on home video, and you could go to their house and experience that there are people who are also not what society thinks of as normal. It's so good. It's so important. The music's really good, and it's really funny. The Rocky Horror Picture Show is great.
Yes. You've perfectly encapsulated my feelings about it. If you ever like if you were like back in the day not fitting in, you had a friend who showed you this movie.
Yeah. As I understand, in like the 80s, this was used in the 80s and 90s. This was used as like code phrasing, right? You could talk about the Rocky Horror Picture Show so as to connect with other people who were queer, right? You could connect with
or at least allies. Yeah.
Yes, right.
If you go to a live showing of the Rocky Horror Picture Show, we can at least assume you're okay with queer people.
Yes, you can have an honest...
You wouldn't be there otherwise.
And it's so different nowadays, right? It's so different today. It is mercifully, wonderfully different today, because you need only open the internet to know that there are people who don't want you dead. But you didn't know that in 1989. And this movie helped get people past that. And that's incredible. And I don't know if that's exactly what it's designed to do, but the people who made it are definitely...
Richard O'Brien is queer as fuck.
Right, they're definitely happy that is what happened because of it, right?
I think that was fully intentional.
Yeah,
actually,
it's excellent. It's an excellent movie, and the Time Warp is in fact one of my running songs.
It's a good running song.
Yeah. Hot patootie, bless my soul. I really love that rock and roll. Anyway. Zach, do you want to keep talking about the Rocky? We can keep doing this.
We could.
I don't have a problem
That
with
was going to be your next one, so I knocked one off your list. What's your next honorable mention?
My next honorable mention after that is one of my favorites, Paranormal Activity.
Really?
Oh yeah.
Would not expect that.
Oh yeah.
I was never a big fan of Paranormal Activity films.
It's real good. It's very
Okay, well,
very
we
good.
both had something that was on our list. We need to drink a lot.
Say again?
We agreed we would take a bit, like multiple shots if we had an overlap on our list.
Oh shoot,
which
you're
we
right.
just did.
Okay, hold on. You talk about Paranormal Activity, I'm gonna drink this. Did.
Paranormal Activity is a film about furniture moving, which is it. Haters and lovers of it will say the same thing. All that happens is furniture moves around. And people who adore it are like, yeah, it's great. And people who hate it are like, okay, sure.
It's
I'm
real.
I'm kind of neutral on the Paranormal Activity films. I get the appeal. It's not quite my horror, but like I will not complain.
Yep, I really enjoy it. As a matter of fact, just last week I've been watching a lot of horror movies because it's that time of year. Just last week I watched Paranormal Activity 5, I think. Paranormal Activity: The Marked Ones. Which Zach is really good. it's very good actually. It's good and it's fun and it's funny. It's truly hilarious. And in similar fashion to oh gosh, what were you talking about? To Marble Hornets, right? It just feels like a normal person doing these things.
Yes,
Which I really like.
That's the appeal of it. Is it, like once you get past the like premise of why they have so many cameras in their house, which is believable enough, it's entirely believable in that context. As you say often, if you buy the premise, you buy the bit.
Yeah.
And if you can buy the premise on this one, it's very easy to buy the bit.
Yep. And I bought the premise straight out of the box. I really like it. I really like. If you like ghost movies, you'll like Paranormal Activity. It's good. Full stop. That's it. What else you got?
Yes. I want to put another Clive Barker movie on here.
Oh, sure.
I want to put down Hellraiser.
Oh, sure. I have not seen Hellraiser.
I have a friend of mine who's a big Clive Barker guy who did not show me. He did not show me Nightbreed. Actually, the fun fact of how I got recommended Nightbreed was legitimately there used to be the Red Letter Media guys used to do a video game stream called Previously Recorded. And sometimes they would have Jay on. Jay's like the horror movie aficionado. And while he was there, I'm like, I don't like enough horror movies. I'm just gonna like send them a donation saying, what are other horror movies I would like? Here are the horror movies I actually like. And I gave a list of like 3 that I enjoyed.
Dude, that's so good.
Rich and Jay just spitballed some things they thought I would enjoy.
Yeah.
One of which Jay said you should watch Nightbreed.
Yeah.
And they were like, okay, Jay Bauman personally recommended a movie to me. I have to now watch this movie. And he was right. It's amazing. But
somebody clip this and tweet it at him.
You tweeted at Jay. I'll actually probably find it amusing.
Yeah, let's get a guest spot on him.
If Jay Bauman wants to come on a Song of Ice and Fire podcast, I know he's watched Game of Thrones, the HBO show, so maybe he's read the books. I don't know.
Yeah,
that would be fun.
Yeah,
we love Jay Bauman here, but the movie that I said I liked that got that recommended to me was Hellraiser, which a friend showed to me during the month of October when we were all swapping horror movies. He said, you got to watch Hellraiser. It is gross. It is about hedonism and excess and humans doing bad things to each other in terms of like infidelity and lying and addiction and all that. It's all about it's humans are bastards is like the central thesis of it. And also there's some weird fucked up Cenobites from hell or an extra dimension that might also be hell. In some weird shit. And their designs are excellent. And watching a person transform into a monster or it's almost kind of backwards. He starts off as sort of a horrifying mess and becomes more human, but also less human on the inside. It's such a gross and weird and grotesque movie with a lot of blood and a lot of weird looking creatures and a lot of just uncomfortable moments that really tickles my horror sense quite well.
This
And
is super reasonable.
The wonderful Doug Bradley as the lead Cenobite that everybody calls Pinhead. He hates being called Pinhead, but that's the nickname they gave that character. So, very very big fan. Love Hellraiser.
All right, Zach, you mentioned you meant down here. You got on Marble Hornets. You have something that is not a movie.
Yeah,
I actually
I have another not a movie in my.
Oh my god, I have 2 not a movies in my honorable mentions.
I have 3. Actually, I think my entire honorable mentions left might be. Hold on, do we have a single movie left in my honorable mentions?
Oh my gosh.
No.
Okay, all right. Then I'll go first. All right. Wait, no. How about I get rid of the rest of my movies in honorable mentions first?
Okay, yeah. Get rid of all the movies in your honorable mentions, and then we'll do the nada movies.
Okay, you ready? Annihilation.
I have not seen Annihilation. I've heard nothing but good things.
Annihilation is extraordinary. It stars Natalie Portman and Oscar Isaac, I think, who plays Poe Dameron in the new Star Wars movies.
He's just a phenomenal actor. I think he's in a Coen Brothers film I've yet to watch. One of these days, I would love to force you to watch every Coen Brothers film and then do a ranking of Coen Brothers films because I feel like we have completely opposite takes.
I do. Have I seen any list off?
You've watched The Big Lebowski because I told you it was my favorite movie.
Yes, and you continue to have bad takes about The Big Lebowski.
It's a movie that grows on you because I stand by the statement. You get a different bit of knowledge or find something new about it every single time you watch it.
Zach,
there's a lot going on there. They pay no attention to it.
That is just like your opinion, man.
Well, that's just like your opinion. I might be as a budget Halloween costume this year. I'm just gonna run to a thrift store tomorrow and throw together the dude outfit.
Dude, that's very funny.
My hair is finally long enough to pull it off again.
All right. Annihilation might be my favorite horror movie, possibly? ? It is cosmic horror. I left it off of the main list because cosmic horror doesn't seem. Cosmic horror isn't the kind of horror you have around Halloween.
I mean, it is if it's us watching movies, but.
Annihilation stars Natalie Portman. She and a team of people have to follow a team who went into this blop, where actually this is another movie where an asteroid crashed in the middle. This is the third one where an asteroid crashed in the middle. And the asteroid has started doing weird things, and she and her team go in, and they start causing all these terrifying mutations, and no one is quite sure what's real and what's not. Natalie Portman is a phenomenal actor. Oscar Isaac is also a phenomenal actor, and the whole movie is creepy, cover to cover. Strongly recommended. That's number 1. Number 2. Zodiac.
Ooh.
Yeah.
I'm a big true crime person, as people will tell you who know me. I was actually talking to one of my coworkers about a serial killer that lived nearby where she lived, which she told me to stop talking about, which is fair. Because they're technically still uncaught. But I've heard phenomenal things about Zodiac. I have not watched it yet.
You haven't seen Zodiac?
I have not seen Zodiac. It's on my list to watch.
Zodiac might be my favorite crime movie of all time. Zodiac stars Jake Gyllenhaal and Robert Downey Jr. And it is just the story of a person trying to catch the Zodiac killer. It is half mystery, half serial killer movie. It is truly phenomenal to be inside the head of Jake Gyllenhaal, and there are a couple of scenes that I think about, and I like look over my shoulder. You know what I mean? Where I think about and just thinking about them gets me so uncomfortable that I like look around. I'm not. You know what, Zach? You haven't seen Zodiac. Have you gotten Zodiac spoiled for you?
I mean, I know the real life case,
Yeah,
but I don't know if that spoils the movie.
It does not. It does not. I'm not going to talk about Zodiac. Watch Zodiac before you spoil yourself on Zodiac. For real. It's
I will
that
do
good.
just that.
And everyone at home, I'm not going to talk about Zodiac. Watch Zodiac. It's really, 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 really good. Zach, I'm gonna punt back to you.
All right, so you're out of movies. So
I do have one more, but I'm gonna save that as the last one we talk about because it's a movie. It's a movie that you and I kind of share.
That's fair. I'm gonna save the video game I have on here because it's my favorite video game probably of all time.
Ooh.
There's some contenders, but this one I feel especially close to. I'm gonna save that for last.
Okay.
And I'm gonna do a double recommendation right now. It's 2 different episodes of 2 different Star Treks.
Oh my god.
I want to recommend The Thaw from Voyager. And
we're gonna say STVOY. The Thaw, and
the other one is from Deep Space Nine. It's Empok Nor.
Oh, is Empok Nor the one where Garrick like takes over the other station?
Yes.
Yeah. Yeah. Oh my god, Zach, these are excellent takes.
Yes. The Thaw is the one where they find people who are in like cryosleep stasis pods, and 2 of them are already dead from heart attacks, and the other 3 should have woke up a long time ago. And they go in, and they're being run by this horrible sadistic clown who is like scaring people to death. It's from the second season of Voyager.
Oh my god! I took a bite, and then I remembered the episode you're talking about. Is this the one that the meme comes from?
Which meme?
That are you 2 friends? And Tuvok says,
"No, that's not that one."
Oh, okay.
Or maybe it is. Hold on, because I think
right, because the clown wants them to stay.
That's from season 3.
Okay, all right, I retract.
No, this is the one with Michael McKean, who's an amazing actor. He's in Spinal Tap. He's in Better Call Saul, playing this dark, evil clown, and he kills it the whole time. The concept behind it is a little whack, but it's Star Trek where we're used to such things. This is one of the better episodes of the second season, which is probably kind of the worst season of Voyager otherwise, but it is just quite good. And the clown who represents Fear does a really great job. He almost like Pennywise-esque the whole way through. And it's very interesting visually. There's a lot of stuff going on in that little simulation they're in. And Empok Nor, as you mentioned, it's a Garrick episode.
Yeah.
They go to a separate Cardassian station. And in that station, there are pheromones being released that cause him to, as apparently they do to Cardassian soldiers, give them like a bloodthirst, make them want to kill people. So Garrick, who's very good at killing people, spoilers for Deep Space Nine, starts doing exactly that.
Yeah.
And Garrick,
he's
a
real
character
good at that.
you like and want to see live, has to be stopped. And he's willing to use lethal force to not be stopped. It's a very fun concept, done very well.
Do I recall correctly that this is also an O'Brien episode?
It is also an O'Brien.
Yeah! Yeah, this is for the Star Trek nerd. The 4 Star Trek nerds who've watched this far into the video. Good to see you. How you doing? This one's for you.
You were rewarded for waiting.
Yeah! Go back and watch. Go back. What's the order? Hold on. If you're in the mood for some claustrophobic horror, go watch Empok Nor. If you're in the mood for some scary clown, go watch The Thaw.
Yeah, and Paknor is season 5, late season 5 of Deep Space Nine. So right when they were getting on that like tear, actually they're in the midst of one of their tears.
This is one of
tears.
them.
Every single Star Trek show that goes on a tear still has some duds just baked in there for no good reason. But that's Star Trek, baby. That's what you get.
It's Star Trek, baby.
You've definitely seen both of those, so I think those require shots.
Yep. Hold on. Clink. I'm gonna make this a double. Yeah. No, I'm not gonna make it a double. We're gonna. Clink. Yeah. It's a great night. Happy Halloween. Let's do this every year.
I agree. We'll do this every year. We'll come up with new lists.
Let's do this every week.
Let's do this every week. Yeah.
Whew.
We'll see. I mean, if this performs well, I would love to do more movie lists.
Yeah, like man. I'm having such a good time.
I'm having fun doing it, and if our audience is like, do more of these, I'd be like, hell yeah, why not?
Yeah, man. All right, Zach.
We'll do our favorite Thanksgiving movies.
Actually, once upon a time, I used to have a list of Thanksgiving episodes of TV shows because I was of the opinion that Thanksgiving episodes were the best episodes of any TV shows.
That's interesting.
Yeah.
I occasionally I have some Thanksgiving episodes I occasionally put on during Thanksgiving as a rewatch. But like I don't know, some of them feel a little played out from having done that multiple years. I don't think I need to rewatch the Thanksgiving episode of South Park anymore.
Yo,
as good as it is.
The Thanksgiving episode of Malcolm in the Middle is really good.
Ooh, that might be the case.
Give
me your next thing that's not a movie.
Yeah, this one isn't a movie. This one is a television show.
Is it Hill House?
The Haunting of Hill House, it sure is.
I'm watching it right now. I've never seen it before. One of my roommates has forced it upon me to watch this. And he's correct.
Yeah,
I should watch this.
It's very good. It's very good. It is difficult for me to recommend the sequel show, The Haunting of Bly Manor. Not because it is not good. It is good. It's very good. But because it is not my style. And if you are going into The Haunting of Bly Manor, it's a very different show. Just keep that in mind. The Haunting of Bly Manor is a drama, which is good. It's a good drama, but I entered in expecting a sequel to The Haunting of Hill House, and it's not what I
got. The Haunting of Hill House, from what I've seen so far, and I think I'm 4 episodes in, which is right about to be halfway point. Or maybe it's 3.
Zach, you've seen The Haunting of Hill House. Please take a drink.
Damn it, I already did, but I'll do it again.
Yeah.
What I like is that it follows the emotional through line through. There's a very long timeline. The characters are shown both as kids and adults. The main cast, and every episode follows the emotional through line of what got them to like the point they're at now, and not necessarily the like chronological order. So you learn more about the past as you're learning more about the present.
Yep.
Which is fun.
I am not going to spoil The Haunting of Hill House. I am of the opinion that the last 2 episodes are some of the best pieces of television ever made. They're really, really good. And I'm excited to see what you think about them, and I'm going to stop talking about it because I might spoil it for you.
Neil's dancing in the red room.
On a related note, I've been doing my horror movie things. I watched, sugar, The Turning. The Turning, which is based on The Turning of the Screw, which is by the same, which is the book on which The Haunting of Bly Manor is based. The Haunting of Bly Manor is based on a book from I think the 1600s. It's an old book, and The Turning features Mike from Stranger Things in one of the lead roles. And I am a big fan of the movie The Turning. If you liked Haunting of Hill House and want to experience the story of The Haunting of Bly Manor, but in the style of The Haunting of Hill House, go watch The Turning. It's really good. Zach, you said you have one more.
I have one more. It's a video game.
Can I guess?
Go for it.
Silent Hill 2.
No.
Oh,
Actually, funnily enough, it's the only the only Silent Hill I've ever played is Shattered Memories, which is a controversial one.
Interesting.
But that was one that I was dating somebody who was who was obsessed with Silent Hill, which is also that might be why I haven't played a lot of Silent Hill because the relationship kind of sucked. But
These are respectable positions.
Yeah, yes, who forced me to play through Shattered Memories because she wanted to see how my playthrough differed from hers. So that was my only exposure to Silent Hill. No, Tom, you know me. I like weird indie games.
Sure.
And
oh no,
it's not the one you're thinking.
it's not Undertale.
It's not Undertale. Undertale's not Halloweeny enough, just because there's skeletons in it.
It's kind of Halloweeny. It's a little spooky.
Actually, the funny thing is, Toby Fox, who made it, his first game was taking Earthbound and making a Halloween-themed ROM hack of it.
That's fun.
Which actually probably is a good Halloween recommendation. I've heard good things about that ROM hack. But no, my recommendation is my favorite game, Omori, all caps Omori.
Omori
Came out in, I believe, 2020, and it is such an interesting game. It is a story that takes place. It's got a lot of like dreams and reality in it. It has a lot of like psychological trauma and stuff. But it is the only game I've ever seen pull off slowly introducing horror elements and then having them build up into a payoff. The game is not always a horror game, but when it is, you sure as hell know that it is. And then at a certain point, the dread builds up more and more, and as you're going through the regular parts of the story, you can feel something terrible start to build up in the pit of your stomach, and you're just dreading getting there. And then you get there, and it's just as dark and awful as you expected. I highly, highly, highly recommend it.
Omori. Is it on PC?
Omori. It is on PC. It is on the Switch now. They released it on.
Bro, I'm gonna play it.
Dude, oh yeah. I think if you have to like RPGs to begin with. If you don't like JRPG style games, I don't think you'll get much out of it. And you're gonna have to. There's some bosses that are a little tough, but man, oh man, is the way they convey the story and the story you get out of it so unique. It is something very real and believable. The horror in it is palpable and like it makes sense. And I legitimately cannot recommend it enough. I recommend it to every human being. If you enjoy playing video games, you enjoy things that get scary, and you enjoy weird JRPG style games. It's not JRPG. Omocat, who made it, lives in America, but like it's very much based on those old school like JRPG style combat and all that. If you're cool with all of those things, there is no reason not to be playing this game right now.
Zach, I just saw my face in the whiskey bottle and scared myself.
I occasionally see something like headlights of a car out the multiple open windows I'm sitting by, because I am in the part of my apartment that has 4 windows facing outside, and occasionally I jump a little bit.
By the way, Omori is what people say when they're not sure who the father is. Moving on.
Mori.
Omori. Zach, I have one more that is not a movie. That would be look, if Marble Hornets is allowed, then the Magnus Archives.
The Magnus Archives
is also allowed. The Magnus Archives is a horror podcast. It is one of the scariest pieces of media I've ever experienced, in a similar sort of way to Marble Hornets. I'm going to spoil a little bit of it. It follows a person called John, who has joined on at a place called the Magnus Archives, who let's say, document strange occurrences around that come in uh, from the people who want to tell, like they can't tell the police, they can't tell anybody, so they bring their stories to these people. And John has boxes upon boxes of tapes, and he is re-recording these like paper testimonies as new like digital recordings, so you hear all of the things that he is discovering for the first time. And the first time that another person walks into the room while he's recording scared the shit out of me so badly that I had to turn it off.
Yeah, I have to watch this. It actually sounds a lot like the Mandela Catalog to me, which is another YouTube thingy that scared the shit out of me when things started happening.
I can't. I'll put it right there. That's fine.
Yeah.
Like I was so engrossed in this horrible thing that he was describing. I don't even remember what he was describing, but he was describing some horrible, horrible, horrible thing when another character, like, you hear the creak of a door, not him describing the creak of a door, the actual diegetic creak of a door, and another voice talking in your ear scared me so badly that I am shaking a little bit remembering it. It's incredible. And the way that it's told is all this interesting third-person perspective sort of stuff, and it's really good. It just concluded last year. I think it finished in 2021. It ran for like 2 years. Really good, really high quality, free on YouTube. Strongly recommended.
Look up.
Yeah, look it up. It's really great to listen to, like, while you're walking. I really like it. Try not to get yourself spoiled.
I will not. This seems like something that me and at least one of my roommates, the one who likes horror, will really enjoy. Oh, it had a massive Tumblr fan base. There's no way my roommate's not aware of it.
Our friend and guest of the show, Zeb, is also aware of it and also a fan.
That makes sense. Zeb, famous advertiser on this podcast.
Yes.
Famous sponsor of one episode.
Famous sponsor of the Interesting Nerd Club, Zeb.
Yes, Zeb.
Okay, all right, Zach. I got one more.
I actually thought of another.
Oh, sure. Yeah, okay.
Generally, I want to recommend the SCP Wiki.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. The SCP Foundation. The SCP Wiki, sure.
Yeah. As an author on there, I feel like you can't go wrong gathering with some friends and sharing your favorite SCPs. If you can find readings of them. There's a lot of people who have done readings of different SCPs, including some of mine.
Yeah,
so maybe you'll stumble upon one that was written by me.
You have such a presence on the SCP Wiki. Everyone agrees that your stuff is of such quality that they have gone out of their way to make recordings of it themselves.
Did I ever mention that I can't find it for the life of me? The Vietnamese Minecraft YouTuber who did a version of one of mine?
No.
Yeah. I cannot find it for the life of me. But there used to be a YouTube channel based out of Vietnam in Vietnamese that recreated SCP articles in Minecraft, and one of mine was the subject of a video. And I am kicking myself for not downloading that video off of YouTube because I cannot find it anymore.
Oh my god. All right, I'm looking now. Hold on, let's sort by new. Let's see. It's been a while since I've done this. Let's see if we can find any new videos about yours. We're looking for your famous one, right?
The famous one. Spoil. Do I want to like give a thrust to people as to what my famous one is?
Zach, somebody recreated it with Legos.
Somebody recreated it with Legos?
That's what I said! Oh my god, that's so funny! Hold on. I gotta make sure that this is the same thing.
Sort by.
I don't know. I think it is.
Sorting by upload date.
I just punched in SCP and then the 4 numbers.
I see something with Legos here. Hold on. Is it
Yeah,
by?
I think that's yours.
I think that might. It doesn't look like it. Hold on. I'm gonna mute myself and watch the video.
No. We gotta hold off. All right, we can't watch a 12-minute video right now. Oh, am I just riffing? I guess Zach's gone, so I guess
No.
I'm just riffing.
I got the volume shut off. I think this is somebody else making. I think they're just wrong. That's what's
okay.
going on.
Oh, okay. You
I
think
think
that
they
think
have.
they're just doing something else?
It's clearly a child with soldiers and Legos. Yes.
Okay.
Sorry for doxing you, child, for the people who decide to search for your video. You're going to be very surprised when it goes up from 28 views to like 300 very quickly.
Well, they're only going to do that if they can figure out which SCP is yours.
I guess I can't tell people now. I have a couple. I have a couple ones that are in the like. Let's see.
You know what? I'll say this: if you read every SCP on, oh wait a minute, you know what? Hold on. Yeah, you know what, Zach? Can I say? Can I give a hint, please?
Sure.
Hold on. Yes. Hold on. I'm just confirming that I am remembering the correct YouTube channel. Yes. If you watch every video by the Exploring series on YouTube, you will find one of Zach's. Zach's is hidden in there somewhere.
Series?
The Exploring
Is that
series?
true?
Yeah, the Exploring series covered one of your videos. Covered one of your SCPs.
Is it one of their like bulk ones, or hold on?
Hold on, I'll send it to you. I'll send it to you on Discord.
Please do. I am unaware of this.
Join our Patreon, and I'll send it to you too. Yeah.
We don't have a Patreon yet, but maybe someday.
Yeah, there it is. I just sent it to you.
Yeah, that's right. It was in a yes, I have seen this before.
Yep.
It was in a multiple SCP episode, so it's not in the title.
Yes, but it is really flipping cool.
I know somebody's done an ASMR version of another one of my second most popular article.
My God, that was weird.
It was weird.
I believe I discovered that one, that video.
I think so.
And someone who goes through the entire SCP article really close to the mic, like this.
And it also sounds like he's spinning around.
It's so funny.
Yeah.
Zach, I have one more thing I want to talk about. And that is Reanimator.
Reanimator.
Yeah.
We love Jeffrey Combs in this channel.
Yeah, we do. Reanimator is our last honorable mention. And it is in the honorable mentions and not, I don't know, number 5 or something. Because, in spite of the fact that it is the best, with Color Out of Space out there, possibly the second best Lovecraft adaptation, but it is very good. It is a loose adaptation of Herbert West Reanimator, a Lovecraft story. And
with Jeffrey Combs really nailing it.
Jeffrey Combs is the star, which is really good.
We talk about actors who are never give a bad performance. I would love to nominate Jeffrey Combs for that distinction. Yeah. I cannot think of a point where Jeffrey Combs was bad. I can think of things that were bad that Jeffrey Combs was in.
Like Reanimator.
Man, was he not the problem?
Zach, I must give Reanimator an F out of 10. Because I have to talk about this. You know I gotta talk about it.
Yes. The most uncomfortable scene.
The most, one of the most uncomfortable scenes in fiction. Where the movie has been going, it's great, it's funny, I've been having a great time, the effects are brilliant, Jeffrey Combs is awesome and really creepy, and then honest to God, 10 minutes from the end of the movie, there is a 63-second sexual assault scene. I know it's 63 seconds because I checked. It's disgusting. It's
it's
disgusting
very
and
80s exploitation.
Yep.
Like, you know,
It is that
this is the only way
sexploitation.
we knew to get nudity in our film because we're
Yep.
like that, like tone deaf. Yes.
And what, like, there's a couple of things that really pissed me off about it, right? Number one, we're all Game of Thrones fans here. There are a lot of very problematic scenes in Game of Thrones, but and A Song of Ice and Fire, but almost exclusively they serve a plot purpose, right?
Yeah.
Like almost all of them serve a plot purpose.
And
I
it's
might
also not a major tonal shift in a
yes,
series that has people dying tragically and torture and suffering. When scenes like that happen, you're not shocked that this is a part of the story.
yes, they're there for a reason. We can have a discussion about whether those reasons make those scenes justified, but at least they're there for a reason. This scene was not there for a reason. This scene was there because I think that the directors thought it would be funny.
They thought it would be funny, and they could say there was nudity in their film.
It's a comedy.
That's
It's
yeah,
gross. It's not good. It's a comedy
gross.
scene, and it's not good.
And it doesn't. It certainly doesn't need to be 63 seconds.
Yes. The scene would be exactly the same, and like I didn't care for the joke, but you could tell exactly the same joke in
5 seconds.
yes, exactly. And that scene, so the scene is not plot
Yeah.
relevant. I'm going to describe the scene, all right? I'm going to tell the folks at home what the scene is. Okay? No,
I don't think we need to. I don't think we need to laboriously explain.
Zach,
the scene.
I'm gonna fucking do it because I have feelings about this movie. All right, I'm gonna do it. The main villain takes his head and puts it all over the female lead of the film while she is tied up, and it's really not good. It's disgusting. And that scene would have served exactly the same purpose in every fashion if Herbert West had walked in after 4 seconds. But instead, he walks in after 63 seconds.
You could make a much less gross version of it that still like tells that part of the story that is much shorter and much less explicit.
Yeah.
There's plenty of reasons to not find that joke funny.
Yeah, there's a lot of reasons to not find that joke funny. Also, I demand you take a shot because you watch Reanimator.
I recommended Reanimator.
You did. Reanimator needs a content warning, and that's what I'm doing right now.
That's fair. That's fair.
Reanimator is a very good movie with a very bad scene.
If you can cut that scene out, if there's a cut of it where that scene is gone, which you know, there isn't, but you could make it.
Yeah. And that's
then it's a perfect film.
And that's the other thing that pisses me off about this movie, Zach. Because I was watching it with my sibling, and the two of us are watching this movie, and we get to this scene and we're horrified, and like it goes on for so long. At the end of the movie, we can't even enjoy the rest of the movie because like we just passed that scene. And we're like looking at each other in horror, thinking how enjoyable the movie was. And we learn that we had been watching the entirely legally obtained the
unrated director's cut, right?
Yeah, yes, we obviously.
And it's like, oh, that's why that scene was so long.
Yes, it was the director's cut. It was the unrated version, and I was like, oh, I understand. That was why that scene was in, right?
It's the unrated version because the advertised as being more explicit and gross for the people who want that sort of thing. Maybe they wanted a longer version of that scene, which I would disagree.
There's still I can
see the argument there.
I'm thinking there's still problems with that, but like at least there's a different version of the movie. So we go up, we find there is a theatrical cut of the movie. We go find it. And Zach, do you want to know what they cut?
The blood.
The blood! They cut the blood in the language, Zach! They cut the blood in the language!
I think the first time I watched this, it might have been on TV, and they just cut that scene entirely.
Yeah, that might have been the case. Yeah, like I bet the TV version of this movie is absolutely fine. I bet it's great actually, because the parts of this movie that are good and fun and interesting aren't explicit. I bet if you watch the TV cut, it's great. But I put it in the honorable mentions because it would be on my top 10 list if it hadn't made me so mad.
That is fair. That is a fair assessment.
Yeah,
I will not disagree.
It threw the game in the 11th hour. It was so good, and it threw. So the honorable mention that I replaced. Zach, what's the other movie?
That is From Beyond.
From Beyond, also based on Lovecraft, also starring Jeffrey
No,
Combs.
this also has some weird fucked up stuff going in it. But one, it's a lot less like transparently gross.
Yes.
And two, this kind of baked into the movie's plot, so it's a lot more forgiving that like weird, gross flesh penises are popping out of people's eye sockets.
Yes. And like you're right. From Beyond is about like in part about like sexual repression. And like sexual
mind controls in there.
Yeah.
And losing control of your body, but it's baked into the horror.
Right, that's the plot. That is the plot of the movie. Right. I recommend From Beyond, unironically, as long as you like the same content warning as with every horror movie, right? It's gross.
It's a lot lewder than your typical horror movie. It's a very horny movie.
Yes, it is a very horny movie. And I recommend it. If you like Lovecraft and you like that kind of horror science fiction, I recommend that one. That is my actual honorable mention. That's fine.
From Beyond. Okay.
Yeah. Hold on, I'll put it down here. We'll put it in. From Beyond. Yeah, there we go. All right, Zach, thank you for allowing me to rant about Reanimator. Since I watched it, I've been looking for a place to rant about Reanimator.
That's fair. Yeah, and those are the films that made Jeffrey Combs like a recognized actor, and they were directed by, I forget who his name is. Hold on, I'm looking it up right now. I'm on Wikipedia. Stuart Gordon, who also made some Edgar Allan Poe films that we've yet to watch. But I think we both said we would watch The Pit and the Pendulum. I don't know if it's any good.
Zach, I don't think I watched The Pit and the
Pendulum. We both talked about it. Also, here's a fun fact. The person who made Reanimator and From Beyond made Honey, I Shrunk the Kids. Which actually kind of tracks.
It does. That makes some kind of sense. That also plays like a horror movie some of the time.
He basically took a horror movie concept and made it into a kids movie. And he also made Robot Jocks, a famous post-apocalyptic mecha movie made on a really low budget. And man, oh man, is it a post-apocalyptic mecha movie made on a really low budget. It is exactly as advertised. And that's the best thing I can say about it.
Okay.
Oh, Jeffrey Combs is in that too.
All right, Zach.
I think he's a bit part.
Come back with me. All right, come back.
We're back. We're back on the rails.
Yeah, we're back on the rails. We talked about the Magnus Archives and the SCP Wiki and 2 episodes of Star Trek and the Rocky Horror Picture Show.
I shouted out the Mandela Effect, or not the Mandela Effect, that's an effect. The Mandela catalog, which I actually need to finish watching. But
do you want that on the honorable mentions?
Yeah. Put the Mandela catalog on there. People like. I like everything I've seen of it, and people also make a lot of memes about it, which is great. So we'll put that as another honorable mention.
Did I spell all of that right?
I think there's a UE at the end of catalog. Yeah.
All catalogs are stupid.
Yes. I think that's how you do it. And okay. I think those are all wonderful honorable mentions there.
Yeah. Yes, every you know what? Here's a take. What do you think of this take? I would not be surprised if every single thing we have listed today is somebody's favorite horror property.
Yeah, if anybody I mean it'd be weird if somebody sent the Star Trek episodes, I guess. But
you think? Well, yeah, you might be right.
What I would say is if somebody told me I try and rewatch blank or revisit blank every Halloween about anything on this list, I would not be surprised.
Yes, my response would be nice. Sounds like a fun day.
Yes.
All right, Zach. We have 3 left each. How do you want to do this?
Um, how how unpredictable is your number one? How, like, if you were to ask Johnny Q Public, is that an appropriate thing to say? I always feel like when I say something that, like, I've heard a million times, there's some reason I shouldn't say it. That can't possibly be the case about Johnny Q Public.
Zach, I think so. Let's do our guessing game now, right?
Like, who's gonna have the more surprising number one? Because that person should go last.
You're gonna have the more surprising. Yeah.
Okay. I will go last.
Mine are not surprising. So
my top three are not so. I wonder how much of an overlap our top three has.
That's a great question.
I know there must necessarily be some things on there, and it's going to be funny if our 2 and 3 are the same.
Yeah. Okay. All right. So I am going. Let's try to guess each other's, but I'm not going to say any of the ones that are on mine, of course.
Okay.
Okay. Zach, let's see. I think one of your top 3 is Casper the Friendly Ghost.
No. That's incorrect.
Yeah. Okay, hit me.
Tom, I think one of your top 3 is The Thing.
God damn it!
Because it's also in my top 3.
Wait, I said I wasn't going to say any of mine! Wait, I said I wasn't going to say any of the ones that are on my list! Fine, where is it?
Mine's number 2.
Fine.
You weren't going to say anything that's on your list? I didn't internalize what that meant.
Yeah.
I get what you were saying now. That's fine. It's funnier that way.
Yeah, you're right. All right, we'll talk about The Thing in a minute. Mine is also
where's that on your list?
Mine is also number 2.
Oh my god, is your number 3 the same as mine?
It might be. No, it can't be. My number 3 is kind of a hot take.
I mean, you could argue that for mine as well. Because you could argue mine's a sci-fi movie, and I'd be like, you ain't wrong.
Mine is not a sci-fi movie. Mine's just.
What if my number 3 is your number 1?
Zach, let's just start before we spoil all of ours.
Good call.
Zach, what? So you said yours are going to be more surprising? No.
My number 1 is going to be more surprising. My 2 and 3 will surprise literally no human being on Earth.
Give me your
They're
number.
very common. They're the famous I am a white dude talking to you about horror movies.
All right, give me your number 3.
My number 3 is Alien.
Oh, that's a good take. That's real good. That's a real good horror movie, Zach.
That is. I adore this film so much.
Zach, I'm gonna take a shot because that should have been on my list. Yeah, clink, tap. Mm-hmm. Yeah. Zach, talk to the folks at home about Alien.
Alien, in 1979, I keep forgetting the movie is that old, is the story of a bunch of people on a vessel out in space that a alien that they cannot fight or understand super well gets on board and starts killing people. You could argue it's a slasher movie. You could argue it's a science fiction movie. All I know is it hits on a very real fear. And the alien, later to be called the xenomorph, is phenomenal and unique. And every time they think they have it solved, it has something new to throw at them. And the design is wonderful. And Ellen Ripley is such a phenomenal character. Just a regular person doing her job, trying to survive.
It is like it's such a horror movie cover to cover. It's so scary and so suspenseful and so well acted and well designed. I love it. It's excellent. I think this is a great pick for number 3.
Yeah, I there's very little I can say about it that hasn't already been said. Everybody knows why people like this movie, and those reasons are correct.
This is not on my list. This is not on my
Wow.
list because my number 3 is its sequel.
Aliens.
No, this is a joke. It's not on my list.
I know Aliens. I think that's just your favorite movie of all time.
Yes, Alien is not on my list because Aliens, and kind of by extension, Aliens is my favorite movie I've ever seen. I have watched that movie triple digits numbers of times. Everyone in my family can quote it cover to cover. I bet I could spend literally more than an hour quoting lines from 1986's Aliens without repeating.
That sounds accurate. I do believe them.
Yeah. We're an express elevator to hell going down. I contend that movie, the second movie, is the most quotable movie of all time.
It's definitely up there for sure.
Yeah, so there it is. Zach, I think that's a really good take. You got anything else? I mean, if you haven't seen Alien, what are you doing? It's Halloween time. Go watch Alien.
Yeah, that should absolutely be on everybody's watch list.
Yeah,
for
go
sure.
go watch
It's one
it.
of those
Like,
classic horror films.
like, stop doing what you're doing. Go watch Alien. It's really good. Get a couple of friends. Get some popcorn. Get maybe some hot cocoa. Maybe some hot cider. Right? Like, really, like, buckle down and watch Alien.
I was just imagining myself somebody who has seen nothing from this list. And then I imagine the more horrifying thing, somebody who's already seen everything on this list. I don't know which person I'd be more intimidated to have a conversation with.
Wait, Zach, that's us. That's us right now.
I suppose if you combine this one conglomerate person, we've seen everything on this list.
Zach, we've both seen better than 75% of this list.
That's probably true. Yeah.
Okay, Zach, you want my number 3?
I do.
Oh, so how many times is Sigourney Weaver on this list? Is it just twice? I think it's just twice. All right, I retract.
We don't have Ghostbusters. Oh, wait, we didn't shout out Ghostbusters. We didn't make that an honorable mention.
You're right.
That should be on the honorable mentions.
You're right. Hold on. I'm gonna let me do my number 3 first, okay? Because this is the most Halloween-y movie on my Halloween list, I think. This is Pumpkinhead.
Ooh, that's a take.
Yeah! Zach, have you seen Pumpkinhead?
I have not, but I've heard anything about Pumpkinhead.
It's very fitting at number 3 next to Alien because it stars, who plays Burke? I'm sorry, not Burke. Who plays Bishop? Why is his name not coming to me right off the top of my head? Oh no. Oh god.
Interesting. I can't remember either.
Oh no.
Bishop.
Who?
Bishop. Which one's Bishop?
Is the android.
That's right.
Who plays Bishop? Lance Henriksen. The movie stars Lance Henriksen. Well, honestly, casual spoilers for. You know what? No, I'm not gonna spoil. It's in my top 3. I'm not gonna spoil Pumpkinhead. It is a wild ride, cover to cover. It is very well acted. I think that the plot, it's a simple plot, but I think that it's really excellent. And if you go into it not knowing anything about the movie, I think it's really, really powerful. I think it's excellent. And the person who did the special effects is the same person who did the special effects for Alien. So the Pumpkinhead, the creature in Pumpkinhead, has that similar sort of like inhuman kind of feel that the alien from Alien does.
Interesting.
It's like long and creepy, and like it moves like like halfway between a person and a raptor. You know what I'm talking about?
Yeah.
It's really good, and I really like it. It's excellent. Honestly, I'm gonna stop talking about it because it's very good and very fun. It is the most Halloween movie on this list.
Oh, for sure. It stands out as being especially Halloween Eve in the name alone. If you look at the rest of this list, you could tell which one definitely came out in October.
Yeah. Yeah. Pumpkinhead's really good. Lance Henriksen is excellent. Actually, I'm gonna look up who plays Pumpkinhead. Who plays Pumpkinhead? Who plays the monster in Pumpkinhead? Because I know that like in that period, Tom Woodruff Jr. Yes. Pumpkinhead was portrayed by Tom Woodruff Jr., who also portrayed numerous other fictional monsters in films such as Aliens. So
Ooh.
the monster in Pumpkinhead moves a lot like the monsters, like the aliens in Aliens, because it's
Designed
played
by
by the
the same
same
guy.
dude. Yeah. And I find that really cool. I think it's really cool and really fun, really appropriate. And it is if you're only gonna pick one, like if you really want that Halloween kind of feel, the like cornfields and curses kind of feel, of all of the movies on this list, at least on my list, I would definitely recommend Pumpkinhead above all others, for sure. Yeah, there it is.
Yeah, I think that's probably true. I have not seen Pumpkinhead, so I cannot confirm. But looking at everything on here, I feel like if you you have to do it in one to get the proper Halloween feeling. Pumpkinhead probably is the one
Yeah.
to go with.
Zach, I think you would like Pumpkinhead. Look, first off, the acting is phenomenal. Lance Henriksen's really good. And second off, by the way, Lance Henriksen is really good and like fucking bombshell hot. By the way, it's
A lot of hot dudes on this list.
it's kind of startling actually how hot Lance Henriksen is in this movie, considering I know him as Bishop from Aliens. He's really attractive. So, Zach, I think you would like it, especially because of the effects. I think you would find, as a filmmaker, I think you would find them really, really interesting.
Yeah.
All right, Zach. Let's talk about number 2. Let's do it.
We can put it down for both of us.
Yeah. The Thing. I can't believe that this is the only lineup we've had so far.
That is kind of insane, actually.
Yeah.
Because we don't have dissimilar tastes. Our tastes don't line up perfectly. There's a lot of things I like that you don't, and that you like that I don't. But in a usual case, if there's something I enjoy, there's a good chance you enjoy it also. So the fact that this is such a wildly different list, and then it overlaps to snub The Thing from its number one spot that people probably thought it was going to be in,
Yeah.
that's a weird lineup.
Zach, I'm taking a shot. I don't know if I already took a shot because ours lined up, but I'm taking it now. Clink.
Yeah, I gotta take a big shot. Hold on.
Yeah. There we go. I don't think I'm gonna finish this in this shot, but that's okay. Clink. Zach, to your health and happiness. Clink. Tap.
The Thing.
Mm-hmm.
Link. There we go.
Whew.
Ooh.
Yeah. Oh. Getting drunk on Thursday. Okay, Zach. This movie, I'm not going to say that it's not my movie, because holy shit is this movie my style, but this movie is more your movie than my movie, for sure.
Yeah.
Take it. Fucking take it away.
This is the only John Carpenter thing on the list, which it easily could not have been.
Yep.
In the Mouth of Madness could have been on here.
It's great. It's stupid, but it's great.
What's the other one in his
In the Mouth of
trilogy?
Madness, and hold on.
It's the
Wait, which one is it? Hold on. Why am I not remembering? Hold on. You riff on The Thing, and I'll find it.
So yeah, the Thing is just this wonderful self-contained horror story about a thing that came from outer space explicitly in the beginning. It doesn't need to. They could have cut that scene, but whatever.
Antarctic researchers. A dog is running their base. People are in a helicopter shooting at it. All of a sudden, a fight breaks out. They keep the dog, but it turns out they should not have done that because the dog is the thing. It is a gross monster that morphs into whatever and then disguises itself as a dog or a person, another living being. And so, throughout the movie, you don't know who is and isn't a thing. And it is wonderful. The whole time they're trying to kill the thing, get rid of it, and they don't know who they can trust. The second they turn their back on somebody, they're convinced that that person might be a thing. And that's where the real horror comes from, is not knowing and then finding out very quickly that somebody is the thing.
Yes.
To the point that they even kill somebody who wasn't the thing.
Oh yeah.
Two people are about to go and kill each other. One of them successfully, the other unsuccessfully, and neither of those people were things.
Zach, I'm gonna use the word. I'm gonna use the word amogus.
Amogus.
As,
Sus.
I mean, this is the origin of that trope, right? It is the origin of doubting the humanity of the people around you in a horror setting.
Yeah.
And I'm gonna take a moment to expound on the cultural significance of the thing. It has been interpreted, and Zach, you're much more into the history of filmmaking than I am. But if I recall correctly, it has been expounded as a reference to the Red Scare, right?
I think some people might. I don't think John Carpenter was going for that. I think it's a little more pure in its horror than that. But it's about trust. It's about It's about not knowing for sure what's going on in the mind of somebody else.
Yes.
People apply it to the Red Scare. People applied it to racism, homophobia, whatever you want to call it. All of that is in there, but it's a lot more. It's a lot more distilled. It's like pure capsaicin instead of a spicy pepper.
Every time you play Among Us, please know that it is because of the existence of the movie The Thing that game exists.
Yes.
Is that a fair take? That movie would not exist without this game. Game would not exist without
this movie. Would not exist without 100%.
Yeah.
That is just a fact. If you play Among Us, you have to give some respect to the thing.
Yep. If you play Among Us, if you play Mafia, if you play Werewolf, those things exist because of the cultural significance of this movie and because of the things that it tries to point out. I love this movie. I especially love the ambiguity of this movie. Where it does not tell the audience a goddamn thing. There's a couple of scenes that are really that the audience is exactly as in the dark about as the rest of the movie, as the rest of the cast.
You are the blood test scene.
Yeah.
You are in the same spot that Mac is in.
Yep.
And he is just as mortified to find things out as you are. And that makes it so believable and relatable. And that's the best scene, in my opinion, is that whole scene.
Yeah.
It's so good. It's referenced in so many pieces of media. And deservedly so.
Ooh, that's an interesting take. In my opinion, the best scene is the last scene.
That is up there too.
That's it, right? That. These are both good takes, to be honest.
Yes. These are both phenomenal scenes.
By the way, it features my personal favorite voice actor, Keith David.
Yeah, Keith David's in it.
Keith David just saying beautiful things in beautiful fashions.
He's such a nice voice. I wish I had Keith David's voice.
Love that man. Voice of the if you've played Halo, the voice of the Arbiter in Halo is one of the main characters in this movie.
The best character in Halo. I will say that might be a hot take. The Arbiter is the single best written character in Halo.
How dare you talk that way about the Grave Mind? How
I
dare you?
respect that take.
Yeah. Okay, Zach. Zach, that's the thing. I don't want to spoil the thing too much. It's really, 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 holy shit, really good, and you should go and watch it right now. That is not the movie that I think is best for Halloween time. That is just the movie of highest quality of anything on this list. With the maybe you know what, The Invisible Man and Jaws might and Us actually might give it some a run for its money.
There's certainly like films on here. I don't know, The Thing is such a like uniquely genius film that like it stands out. Like it is not more sci-fi than horror. It is not more horror than sci-fi. It is such a perfect blend of flavors that very few films have hit.
It's incredible. I don't know what to say about it. You ready for a take? The Thing is the best horror movie ever made.
I would say that. I'm going to disagree with that in a second, and so are you. But if somebody said that to me, I would at no point try and dissuade them from that opinion.
Oh, Zach, this is a great transition because I'm not about to say that.
You're going to put a non-horror movie as your number one.
Oh no, that's not what I said. What I said is I am going to put the movie is not a better horror movie than The Thing.
It's just you just enjoy it.
Yes, this is just a movie that I like watching at Halloween more, and you will note that I changed the subject a little while ago. Go get her, Ray! Yeah!
Oh yeah.
Yeah!
Oh man, the experience of rewatching this movie with you at a drive-in in the height of the pandemic, which I think is my first time like seriously sitting down and watching it as an adult and realizing, oh God, this is me and my friends. This is me and my friends. If we were to start a ghost busting business, we would have all these exact same conversations.
Yeah, she sleeps above the covers, 4 feet above the covers. Tell her about the Twinkie. Zach, tell her about the Twinkie.
I loved this as a kid because it was exciting. They're busting ghosts, and like rewatching it very recently, I'm like, oh my God, this is what I would do. Like I feel very similar. Like I have been compared to Ray Stantz, and I will accept that for all that it means.
I don't know if I've been compared to Peter Venkman. Have I been?
I come in when I like really enjoy doing something. I get like super sucked in, and I'm super pumped about it, and I get like chatting. I'm like, dude, look at this! This is so exciting. And that's like Ray Stantz when he's busting ghosts. He's like, ooh, there's and like that's totally me. And I get that. And you were getting compared to Venkman the whole time, which I think you will say is not unwarranted.
This is reasonable. This is not unreasonable for sure.
The snarkiness that is ever present rather throughout the movie, where he's just cracking jokes the whole time.
Oh my God.
And just sort of like he hey, I can do this and be successful, so why the hell not? Like, his whole cavalier attitude about it, very, very much in character for you.
Yeah, like that casual, like a lot of men are into that nowadays. And so let's not discount Sigourney Weaver, right? I've always loved the delivery of the line, well, what is he doing in my refrigerator? What does that word say? Hittite.
Oh, it's so good. There's so much good about this film.
It's excellent. It's so good, dude. And do I think this is the best movie on this list? No, I do not. But when I want a Halloween movie, this is the movie I put on.
That is a correct choice.
Yeah.
And honestly, I'm gonna take a drink. 1, because I've seen it, and 2, because it should have been on my list.
Yeah, we got him. We got him, boys. Oh my god. Tell him about the Twinkie. Oh my god, Rick Moranis is in this movie?
Rick Moranis, we got
That's why I only invite clients and not friends. Holy shit, has that line gotten better as I've gotten older?
yes. Egon Spengler, played by the amazing Harold Ramis.
Yeah.
Reminds me of a few friends as well, and definitely we've had that like component in our like friendship before, where there's we're saying ridiculous things for different reasons, and somebody chides in with the, this is unrealistic, right? And then just like, yeah. Many a time, many people have been the Egon Spengler in our conversations.
Yeah. God, what else is great about Ghostbusters? That movie's so good.
It's so good.
Oh my god! When the guy at the hotel is like, I refuse to pay, and Bill Murray is like, all right, we'll just put this back then.
Yeah, all right. Well, we'll unbust your ghost.
Yeah, we can put it right back. It's fine.
Yeah. Oh my god.
$10,000. Yeah. Oh my god.
There's
and the
so
flower
much
stays in place.
Annie Potts. Hello, Ghostbusters. What do you want?
We got one. Oh, that movie's really good, dude. It's really good.
It is.
It's
the
great.
Theme song is great. Ray Parker Jr. Committing the best plagiarism ever. There's so much good in this film, and it is endlessly rewatchable. And also, you said Aliens for most quotable movie ever. I think Ghostbusters is a solid contender.
Ghostbusters
for that distinction,
right? It's putting up a fight for sure. Dogs and cats living together, mass hysteria. Yeah, it's a great movie. It's really good. I don't know what kind of movie it is. Horror comedy? Supernatural comedy? I don't know.
It is a supernatural comedy, and I think Roger Ebert at one point pointed out that like usually it's the case that like a like really intricate like story and big budget special effects ruin a comedy movie, and Ghostbusters is an exception to that rule by all accounts. They spent a lot of money on this. There's a ton of effects. It is like crazy amount of things going on. There's a lot of lore to this world, and all of it serves to make the movie funnier.
Yes, he's right. This man has no dick.
It's too good.
Are you a god? If someone asks you if you're a god, you say yes. Yeah. Oh my god, what is the name of that actor? Hold on. I need to remember that actor because he is also funny, and it's unfair that I don't remember his name. It's not fair. Ernie Hudson. Ernie Hudson is the name of that actor.
He just doesn't give a shit the whole time. It's great. To him, like, this is my job. I bust ghosts. I don't know what to tell you.
Yeah, he's
There's
like
no like,
yeah.
like Peter Venkman's into like this is lucrative and like I'm getting my name out there and people are aware of who I am.
Yep.
And Ray Stantz is like, this is exciting. I've always believed in ghosts, and now I'm getting that belief validated, and I'm like doing it. And then Egon Spengler is like, science. This is like it's triumph of science. And Ernie Hudson is like, this is my job.
Yep, this is my job. I gotta pay the bills. This is what I do.
It pays.
Tell her about the Twinkie.
I think that's the funniest thing. Just like the existence of the ghosts, the paranormal, is like confirmed, and then it immediately just becomes, well, somebody's got to bust them, and then Ernie Hudson's first person is like, it's a living.
Yeah. It's a very,
Gotta
very
pay the
good
bill
movie.
somehow.
Oh, holy shit. Yeah, there it is. Baby. I say the line. If someone asks you if you're a god, you say yes. I say that line probably once a month. Oh, and Zach, how can we forget? Go get her, Ray.
Go get her. Fuck, what's the exact quote? By the power invested in me as a citizen of the city, county, and state of New York, I hereby. What's the exact quote? I don't have it memorized anymore.
Yeah. Oh.
By the power vested in. I like how if I type by the power vested in me, Ghostbusters.
I contend, Zach, that this is the funniest line ever written.
I'll read it exactly.
Yep. Go get her, Ray.
Gozer the Gozerian, good evening. As a duly designated representative of the city, county, and state of New York, I order you cease any and all supernatural activities and return forthwith to your place of origin or the nearest convenient parallel dimension.
Bill Murray goes, yeah, that'll do it, Ray.
That ought to do it.
Oh my god! Holy shit! Dude, the last time that I think, am I correct in saying the last time either of us watched this movie together was either of us watched this movie was together at the drive-in.
It was together in a drive-in movie theater.
Yep, height of the pandemic. It was like 2021. Everything was everything.
I think it was 2020, 2021.
Yeah, everything had gone to shit. The only surface in the fucking state that had benefited was the drive-in movie theater because we could go to the movie.
To live near one of the few remaining drive-in movie theaters in the United States of America. Yeah. Actually, we live near two of them.
Yes,
which is incredible.
Weirdly, we live between two.
We could have gone to one in either direction, but it is crazy to me just how well this movie plays now to me.
Yeah. Like holy shit, Zach, is that like the two of us sitting in fucking lawn chairs just lost our fucking minds laughing.
Yeah.
Because I had forgotten about that joke. Okay, I had forgotten that joke existed, and since that was the first time I had watched Ghostbusters in a few years, and I remembered that joke is fucking really, really funny, and it had gotten funnier with age. That is the funniest joke ever written. That joke is funny as long as bureaucracy is boring. As long as the DMV is obnoxious, as long as it's annoying to go get your passport. Holy shit. Ray trying to accomplish that. Trying to banish an eldritch deity by saying, "Excuse me, you're in violation of local statutes. No hard feelings, but we do need you to evacuate." That's the fucking funniest thing I've ever heard. Holy shit.
Yeah.
Okay. All right, Zach. I'm sorry for talking about Ghostbusters
No.
for 15 minutes.
It's absolutely well worth it, and I cannot possibly talk about mine as long, which will be funny, but I do have my number one also.
All right, Zach. Hit me. What is the last movie on our list?
This is the 2018 version of Suspiria.
Ooh, that's a good take, Zach. Oh, the top of our lists went in very different, but very Halloween-y directions.
Yes, Suspiria 2018 is.
Oh, I'm sorry. You're right.
Yeah, there's an older one which you have seen and I have not. I think we both said we watched different versions of Suspiria a Halloween ago.
I watched the original version of Suspiria high off my ass.
That's the correct way to watch it.
Yeah. I remember very little about Suspiria. Tell me about Suspiria 2018.
Suspiria 2018 takes place in 1977, which the original one took place contemporaneously. It is very different vibes wise. The 77 one is very colorful and has like weird rock music blasting, because that's what Italian horror movies did in the 70s. This one's a joint Italian and United States, although like there's a lot of British folk working on it too. Amazon Studios and Italian studio work together to create a new version that is just way. I don't want to say way better because I haven't actually seen the first one all the way through, but it's way different and way like darker and creepier, and it really hits the Halloween vibes for me because it's about witches. It's about witches who run a dance studio as a means to get in other witches, because dancing is a way to cast spells and rituals. So Susie Bannon is a American who comes to this dance studio in West Berlin, during which the Red Army faction is committing like terrorism. There's like, this is the height of like Cold War Berlin tensions going on at the same time as she is meeting all these people and like becoming part of this coven of witches. And it ramps up. It's a very long movie. This movie is 152 minutes long.
Oh, shit.
It is a
It's what,
two and a half
hours? Oh my god.
movie. Yes, 2.5 hour movie that has everything it needs in it. It is great. There is Tilda Swinton plays 3 different parts, and she knocks all of them out of the park. Dakota Johnson, the lead, is phenomenal. She later, I think she's in the 50 Shades movies, which is weird. But she kills it in this movie. Really amazing work on her part. As this, student coming in and getting used to the, weirdness in this new dance studio. The other dancers are all phenomenal. It is just packed filled with incredibly talented actresses. And you learn more and more about the like dark history here, and you see some like fucked up horrible things they did to some of their dancers in the name of their magic. There's parts where people telepathically communicate, and you have to find out at first that there's a telepathic conversation going on, because it doesn't tell you this. You have to figure that out. I made the movie easier to watch for all y'all who are going to go in and try this one.
I recall from the original that it is really a movie that, like, I'm not gonna say it like it like insults its audience, but it like really expects the audience to pick up on some shit.
Yeah. This one's better about that, but it still does do that. There's a lot of parts with subtitles where they will speak German. There's other parts where they're speaking English. It is just like weird. There's like demonology in it. And it's the kind of horror I like, where it's unsettling because it's alien and foreign to you, and there's strange things going on, and it's very human too. This is I think like the thesis statement of this film is it is about the harm human beings do to one another, and it's almost like toxic sisterhood and motherhood are like a theme of this.
Interesting.
Like you using your femininity to hurt fellow women is like the villain of this film, and that's a weird thing for like to be the thesis of your film, but it tracks really well for horror, because it's like people in a place where they feel like they should be safe and feel like there should be a level of trust, and it's actually not there. It's manipulating them. It's corrupting them. It's treating them worse than the thing they were running from to be safe from. These people who should be their, allies are actually their enemies. It's such an interesting concept, and I'm not going to spoil the ending because it comes out of fucking nowhere. It makes sense. There's a wonderful little twist at the end of this. I say at the end. There's then like 45 minutes of movie left after that, I think, or maybe like 30. But like, it is like there's a moment of insane catharsis where something crazy and unpredictable happens that did not happen in the first movie. They changed the story up quite a bit, and it's just such an interesting use of a horror movie. It's not just it has an interesting message to it. It has super weird and creepy visuals. It has some phenomenal acting, and it's still a movie about witches who own a dance studio, which is just a strange concept.
Yeah, that is a weird concept, isn't it?
Yeah, and they make it work so well, tell a very interesting, compelling story, and work in like there's some historical stuff in here too. I feel like there's a lot of, you can read a lot of like the anxiety and tension and guilt that Germany was feeling after World War II is another heavy theme of this film.
Ooh, interesting.
Yeah, and using the Red Army faction and all that as like part of it is an interesting and smart choice. It's really cool how they stitched all these complicated ideas together into one coherent narrative about dancing witches. And for that, I have to commend them. This is my favorite horror movie of all time. And witches are one of those things that, like, you know, very Halloween-y, and you don't see a lot of witchcraft taken like seriously and not played up in horror. Usually when you see a witch, it's like goofy, over the top with a costume and everything.
Yeah, like I think about Hocus Pocus, right?
Hocus Pocus. Yeah, when you think about witches, Hocus Pocus is like what you think of. And it's very cheesy and silly and fun. And look, don't get me wrong, I like Hocus Pocus.
Yeah, it's
but
great.
These witches are just normal women. Well, I won't get into spoilers. Some of them might have be doing a Melisandre thing where they look much older when the magic's not happening.
Ooh,
but yeah. But it's just like these are normal people who have these dark, horrifying powers, and I feel like that's what makes witches scary. They could just be one person that you don't know has this dark, incomprehensible power that you can do nothing against, and like that made witches scary for me again. It wasn't just a weirdly dressed woman with a boiling cauldron who can like shoot sparks out of her fingers. It is somebody who, if you wrong, will do something, and then like all of a sudden you'll lose control of your body, or start to go insane, or
Oh, Zach,
other
you
things
just made
like
me
that.
think of another honorable. Can I bounce off that for another honorable mention?
Please do.
14-point font, please. American Horror Story.
Ooh,
Coven.
that I have not watched that one. I've not watched much of American Horror Story, but I feel like that's got to be hitting a similar note, right? Where
I'm gonna put. Can I put this over on your side? I know it's not yours, but I'm running out of space.
I'm sure you can find a space. It's not on my side.
Okay, hold on. It's way up there. That's fine. It's perfect.
Yeah.
Coven, I think, is the third season of American Horror Story, and it deals all with witches. And it's really good and really and it hits a lot of those same vibes that witches are really dangerous and not to be fucked with, and it feels very Halloween-y. So if you have time,
and they're just in a witch could pass for a regular ass person.
yes,
You would not know that somebody is a witch until they start using their powers on you, and at that point, it's too late. It's almost a little bit like Carrie in that regard too. Which I don't know if Carrie deserves an honorable mention, but I do enjoy Carrie.
Do you want Carrie as not? Carrie's a good Halloween movie for sure. We have
I don't know if it deserves an honorable mention. It's really fucked up.
Zach,
but I mean, so is my list.
Zach, do we have any Stephen King? Oh, we have It. Of course we have. Yeah, okay, never mind.
We have It, and we also have Creepshow.
That's true. These are true facts.
Which he wrote and acted in. So that's we have some Stephen King here. We've got H.P. Lovecraft. I don't think we have any Edgar Allan Poe.
Edgar Allan Poe movies are a little hard to come by.
Yeah, we did mention The Pit and the Pendulum, but we haven't seen it. So I don't know if it's good or not.
Yeah.
I don't even know. Like, there might need to be a content warning. We are completely unaware of what happens in this movie.
Yeah, no idea what happens to the Pit and the Pendulum. I assume that there is a pit and a pendulum because the short story, that's 100% of what there is.
It's even in the title, as
Yep.
some might have observed.
There's a pit, a pendulum, a rat, and a scared guy, and that's all that happens.
All right, I'm on board.
Yeah.
Sounds good to me.
Oh, dang it!
I think this is quite the list.
Yeah, man. You got any other honorable mentions you wanna throw out here?
That like, I mean, my favorite Edgar Allan Poe thing that I try and re-listen to a reading of every year, and I should know I started this before the pandemic, is The Mask of the Red Death.
Oh, dude, that's such a good take. Is it Masque?
I think so.
Maybe I'll do a reading of The Mask of the Red Death and throw it up for Halloween.
That would be awesome.
That's
I
a
would
good.
be
That's a good
very
take.
on board with that.
This is a good take, Zach.
I try and re-listen to that. It's well worth it. Oh, there's a hardcore history episode. Get your bingo cards out. Called Prophets of Doom. That is very Halloween-y.
Oh, wait. Is that the one that takes place in Munster, Germany?
Yes.
I tell that story all the time, and I end the story with, "And I can't believe Munster is famous for its cheese."
And not its
and not its
delusional hallucinating cults.
Yeah. Oh, holy cow. Zach, this is a beautiful list.
It is.
This is a beautiful list. I think that's a really good... Yeah.
Throw Prophets of Doom on there, so if people want to screenshot this for later use, they got everything. Except for my bad movie recommendations from earlier, but like whatever. There we go. Now you have all of our recommendations for Halloween things.
Oh, hold on.
To go
Silent Hill 2.
Worth it. Yeah, absolutely worth putting on there.
Yep. Throw that in there. That's not fair. Probably Outlast is the scariest game I've ever played. But Silent Hill 2 is the most unnerving game I've ever played. It doesn't try to be a jump scare horror movie. It tries to viscerally unsettle you the entire game, and it's really, really well done. Also,
would you be upset or happy if Pyramid Head got put in as a playable character in Smash Bros?
Pyramid Head already got put in as an extraordinarily attractive member of the Dead by Daylight cast, so I cannot complain.
All right, excellent. Yeah. Good to know.
By the I was at FlameCon over the summer, and I went to a panel that was titled "Deconstructing Gay Coded Horror Villains," and it started out like that. But it turned into just a bunch of people talking about just a bunch of people on the stage talking about which horror villains are most fuckable.
That's how it has to go, right?
Yeah, and Pyramid Head was obviously near the top of the list.
That makes sense.
Zach, I have watched Prophets of Doom. Want to take a drink?
Yeah, I'll take a drink.
Best hardcore history? Question mark.
That's tough for me to say. There's so many hardcore histories I love. Prophets of Doom deserves to be on that list of ones I love.
Oh, dude, the Ghosts of the Ostfront is probably my...
Ghosts of the Ostfront's really good. I really like hold on. I'm going to make sure I get the name right by looking it up. Probably the one I re-listen to the most is Destroyer of Worlds.
Very reasonable.
That one's great because Dan Carlin does this thing where he gives you all the lead up and you realize what part of history you're at as soon as you get there, and he does it for the Cuban Missile Crisis. you get to feel the same oh shit that JFK got to feel.
Zach, I'm taking this shot. This is the last shot of this bottle of Besote del Diablo. Thank you very much for joining me on this adventure.
On this, how long is this video?
This is 3 hours and 8 minutes so far.
Wow.
Yep. Yep, a very fun video. I would love to do regularly is not going to happen, but I would love to do more videos like these. This was a lot of fun.
I mean, I think once we're like soon we'll have more free time. We could occasionally pencil in uh, once in a while just a longer form video, not on A Song of Ice and Fire, if people are interested in that sort of thing.
Yeah, because this is like this is what we talked about with starting the YouTube channel in the first place. This is just the kind of thing that we do anyway.
These are the 3 hour long conversations we would normally have. It would not have been unreasonable a year or two ago for us to just come up with our favorite horror movies and then recommend them back and forth to each other for 3 hours. The difference now is that you can listen at home.
Yeah.
And there's a record of these things for us to be held accountable to. When somebody says, "I can't believe you think that A Scanner Darkly is better than Army of Darkness," I can say, well, but yeah, it is. Honestly, if it was just going off of what I like the most, I think A Scanner Darkly would probably be near the top of this list. But
yeah, when people are like, "I don't like Pumpkinhead, it's sad," I'll be like, "Yeah, sure is." Zach, I'm taking this drink to your health and happiness.
to your health and happiness. Happy Halloween, everyone.
Mm. Ooh. Ooh. Oh boy. Oh gosh. Oh fuck there, bud. Fucking Christ on a cracker there, bud. Ooh, that hits. Oh gosh. That hits harder than Sidney Crosby with a good head of steam there, bud. Oh shit. Zach, thank you for joining me on this. I have learned about a couple of new movies, and I hope that the folks at home have too.
I've done the same, and I have a great list to reference back to if ever I need to bust out a movie with the Halloween spirit to it.
Yeah.
And I'm certain that will happen.
Yeah, you're
Maybe it'd be
prepping-
fun a year from this upload to revisit this list and see what we'd move around.
Yeah, revisit
We'll
this. Add some new one. Maybe we say we're gonna make the top 10 list different, but we'll add new the some of the honorable mentions might be the same. Like honorable mention Ghostbusters, honorable mention The Thing. We did those last year. This is a new list.
Yeah, I think pull up the original list, reference it, see if we think any of our takes aged badly or poorly, and then build a brand new list of 10 different recommendations each every Halloween. Sounds like fun.
I like this plan. Zach, thank you for joining me. I hope you have a wonderful evening and happy Halloween, everyone.
Yes, thank you for hosting this 3+ hour conversation. Thank you, everybody, if you made it this far, because oh boy, did we talk a lot about things, and I guarantee, actually, if somebody has seen all of these, you are a very interesting person, and you also were like, oh, cool, I've seen that before a lot.
Yeah, and of course, if you've gotten to the end of this, either for some reason you really like us or you really like horror movies, please this is not just comment baiting. Unironically, tell us your favorite horror movies. I love horror movies.
Tell us stuff that we should watch because we will put it on a list.
Yeah. I'll watch them, and maybe if I have time, I'll watch them, and we'll talk about them next year. Yeah.
Absolutely, yeah.
Oh my God, Zach, goodbye.
Goodbye.